Just gonna get that content warning out of the way really quickly, really fast. I'll start the stream in about 2 minutes. Mwah. Okay, we're starting 1 minute, half a minute early because why not? It's the middle of the day stream. Hello, hi, good evening. Just gonna once again point to the content warning, which I don't know if we've ever actually done this for a game or a stream. It's just, I have read a little bit of chapter 4 and a little bit of chapter 5 before my save got completely corrupted, so I kind of know what's coming. And typically I would like you guys to have a nice time, and if I feel like there is a potentiality for you to not have a good time, then I want you to be able to avoid that if possible. So, yeah. Content warning. If you want to avoid anything that has topics like depression, suicide, alcoholism, animal death, yeah, it's fine if you want to skip this stream. I will absolutely not hold it against you. So, yeah, I want you to have a good time, okay? So, yeah, yeah. We'll get started. But yes, thank you guys who have stopped by. Thank you for those of you who need to leave, and thank you to those of you who are going to bed. It is lovely to see you. I am really sorry that I wasn't up to streaming last night. I set up to stream Skyrim, and then I set everything up. I had OBS open, I had the title changed, I had everything set up. I had a thumbnail made, I was ready to go. And then I was like, I feel really tired. I'm just gonna lay down. And I was dead until like 7 a.m. And then I woke up and I was really, really, really sick. And I won't give you the details. But you know how after you're really sick, you suddenly feel like a lot better? Because it's like all out of your system? Yeah, that happened. So I'm feeling better now. I'm feeling better now. But it does mean that I feel like my body clock is all over the place. And if I don't stream now, we probably won't stream today. So I figured, fuck it. We will have a midday stream. It's better than no stream. Yeah, that rejuvenated feeling is wonderful. It's fantastic. Also, Melkor, congratulations, most special person of the stream. You get nothing because we've gone to another screen because I don't have the source to put your name over the screen. But thank you, most special person. Also, Cade, thank you for 6 months. Nice golden kappa. Where'd you pick that up? Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you for half a year. I appreciate it. And I am Emad. Thank you for 10 months with Prime. Mwah! Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. And Afro, thank you for 45 months. Did the volcano emoji not work? Because it didn't show up. That's funny. But yeah, thank you. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Cruder! Guys, Asa Theo, thank you for 26 months. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Aww. People throwing their primes. Aww. That's sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. Kerno, thank you for 36 as well. That's 3 years. Holy shit. 3 years. Also, I saw Twitch, unrelated to game. I saw that Twitch is now gonna do little statues for watch time. Do you guys want to know what my watch time is at? Because man, I'm gonna have to stream a lot more. I'm gonna have to stream so much more. Let me show you. Oh, Yomi! Oh, that's good. That's good. Let me show you. I get to show you my achievement page, okay? Let me bring that up. That'll be fun. So they're doing little statues for 5 million watch hours, 50 million, and then 250 million. You want to know what we're at? Is your watch time Astro? No, it is not. We're about to hit 1 million. We are at 926K out of a million. And I know that this isn't enough to get like an award or whatever, but I was like, holy shit, I'm a fifth of the way there. I'm a fifth of the way to the first statue. Fuck yeah. I don't know. That made me happy. Yes, that is super impressive. That's almost 1 million hours that people have watched our Vivi. That's crazy to me. Almost 1 million. Holy shit. I've never gotten this, by the way. We have never streamed 25 unique days in 30 days. We actually do need to do this. We do need to do this. I need to actually have a month where I stream 25 days. That would be crazy. But look at all the ones that we have got. We already got like the 500,000. We've streamed for 2,000 total. Like, we've done a lot. We've done a lot, you guys. And like, I've only been streaming what? Like, since 2020? Like, I don't know. To me, that's impressive. To me, that's kind of holy shit. Wow, we did that. We did that, you guys. We did that. I'm really happy. On the stream and grind set. But yeah, it kind of makes me want to stream more. I'm trying to get it in 2040. Let's go. I believe in us. Let's fucking go. But yeah, let me say hi to everybody. Let me say hi to everyone, and then we'll get started on our beautiful trauma. Okay. Got him. All right. So hello, Melkor, hello, Shotgun, hello, Flamefist, hello, Chernovok, hello, Kalibi, hello, Swellbeast, hello, Corgi, hello, Robin the Bobbin, hello, Chespin, hello, Oil Tycoon, hello, Cornered Badger, hello, Something, hello, Linsdom, hello, Doc Shrimpman, hello, Ask Cleo, hello, Silent Steps, hello, Jazzy Jammy, hello, Jay Thuft, hello, Soundcade, hello, Apollyon, hello, Alexandra Luna, hello, Lurking Yoshi, hello, Coppertine, and hello, Akre, hello. But yeah, things may be a little bit like streams might be a little bit all over the place for a minute. I'm trying to sort my shit. I'm trying to sort out my stuff. Hi, Cass. Hello. Because I usually stream much later than this, right? I usually stream like 9 hours from this time slot. Which has been great because I've loved hanging out with everyone. But it has fucked up my sleep schedule a lot. And also I don't see the sun, which is not good. My model is lagging a little bit, forgive that. So yeah, but yeah. Hi, Cube! Hi! Played Penguin game with yes. Hi, Vivi. I played the Penguin game, the Penguin Girl, that's mean. And then we played another game called Parodius, and the penguins are in this game too, but just in the background. But this version was too hard, so we played another Parodius game, and that was fun. Hello, Cube. It is lovely to see you. I know exactly what you're talking about because you showed me yesterday. Guys, did you know? What is it? What was the name of the game? It was like Penguin. It was Yume something something. But there's literally like, it's a penguin game and your girlfriend, Yume Penguin Monogatari. In this game, right? Cube showed me yesterday. You play as a cute, chubby blue penguin. And your girlfriend, the pink penguin, is like, you are too fat. Lose weight. I will wait for you at the top of the waterfall after you've lost weight. Call me every 5 minutes or I'll dump you. Also, I'm gonna be dating this other guy in the meantime. It's terrible. It's awful. She's a terrible girl. Yes, she's a terrible girlfriend. She's a terrible girlfriend. But the ending is kind of funny. Shotgun. So it's okay. I kind of want to spoil it. So yeah, Blue Penguin deserves better. Blue Penguin deserves better. She's like NTR'ing the whole way through. But if you get to the end, she's actually been snacking like the whole time, and you get there and she's chubby as fuck. But to win the game, you have to be thin, but when you get there, she's gotten chubby, and it's like, yay! Best ending. Most high maintenance penguin. But apparently everything worked out for them. Okay, not gonna lie, that's amazing. It's upsetting. So Shotgun, you'd hate it all the way through until the ending. Cause like the whole way through, she's like, lose weight, you gotta lose weight. And when an enemy attacks you, they don't really attack you, they throw food at you and you eat the food. And that's how you like lose. That's how you take damage. But yeah, when you ultimately win the game, your girlfriend has put on all the weight. And it's cute. Yeah, it's hard to take it to heart. It's clearly kind of jokey, and also the penguins are cute. But that pink penguin, too high maintenance. Nuh-uh. Also, thank you so much, Oya, for 45 months. Thank you. I will try and do my best. I'll try and do my best. Thank you. Thank you for all the support. I appreciate it. And thank you. By the way, who is going to bed? Somebody posted saying they were going to bed, and my eyes have... Oil Tycoon. Sleep well. Sleep well. If you need to sleep, all good. I'm gonna move this very slightly. There we go. The game was not correctly fitted. There we go. All right. Raiders, I was just saying, we are in chapter 4 of National Park Girls, which is a visual novel about American national parks, as anime girls. It gets kind of dark from here on out. I would say in typical kind of visual novel fashion, things have to get kind of serious a little bit. Have a good shower, Nazi. I had a bath earlier. Today is the day to be clean. Let's go. I'm not here. Hello. Hi. So this has I've put a content warning on for today. This is chapter 4. There is still chapter 5. Chapter 5 is also incredibly dark, but I kind of wanted to put the warning now just so people know. So if you don't deal well with topics such as alcoholism, depression, suicide, or animal death, it is totally fine if you want to yeet the fuck out of here, okay? Because this is gonna be... It's gonna be a little bit heavy. But I'm here for it. I want to see it. I'm sure some other people also want to see it, and we are here. So you can put a mature content warning on Twitch. Yeah, but that's kind of generalized, and a lot of people... That gets put on for a lot of games. Like, a lot of games. Some of which it's sort of like, really? I will put that on, though. I will put... Actually, no! Mature rated games tagged into the game. That's tagged into the game, so I can't actually put that on. That has to be hard-coded into the game, so I can't actually put that on. So yeah, that would be why. I can put on drugs, but I think that implies that I'm doing drugs and intoxication. I might put it on just in case. Oh, but that's about, like, glorification. It's not really glorification. I think I'm just happy with the content warning that we put on. I think I'm just happy with that, if that's fine. But yeah, so we're gonna get going. Let's go. Vivi sits next to drugs. Will they hold hands? I have never done drugs. That's actually something I have never experienced. My mom offered me weed once, but I said no. I didn't want to get high with my mom. Speaking of, my mom is, she's actually coming up, but I'm not gonna go see her. I'm gonna see her at Christmas instead. Because it's cutting it too close to the wire to go see my mom. Like, she's going to Sydney, like, literally, like, next week or the week after. And I'm like, I don't want to book a plane and a hotel and, like, stuff to do. Like, oh my God. I have not told her about the Riven remake yet. I will have to. Part of me kind of wants to buy it for her. I kind of want to see if I can make her play it around Christmas time. But yes, okay. We're gonna get started. If any raiders need to run, feel free. Let's go. We're starting chapter 4. Boop.
Ranger Adams? I thought that the teepee were supposed to be like tents. So why is this one made of wood, huh, Ranger Adams?
The porky little kid raises his hand and tries to jump, spouting off another series of gotcha questions for the infinity of time today. Pretty sure they're all designed to either make me look bad or make him look better. Hi, Andrew. By the way, I've developed a personal grudge against this 9-year-old.
Well, you see, Ruben, you little bundle of stardust, you. This is a bark house. And if you listened to the other times I told you, I'm sure you would have known that.
My tightened cheeks wobble as I struggle to keep faking the smile. Don't think it's convincing, though. The thumbtack-looking teacher is sipping at his travel mug more often and with growing urgency.
Yeah, but Ranger Adams, it looks like a teepee. I'm just saying.
It's
Shut up.
not a teepee.
Shut up, Ruben. The teacher leans away from his mug to interrupt, but I don't give him the chance.
A teepee is made from animal skin. Does this look like animal skin to you? No, it doesn't. It's made of bark, which you can see because you have eyes. Hence the name. You ask such great questions, Ruben. Now someone else give me another one.
Add child death to the content warning, so she's gonna murder that child. Barely managed to hold that one together, but all things considered, not too bad. I'm at least not screaming at children yet. So, in my experience, when I worked around children, they were kind of younger. We're talking like toddlers and like 4-year-olds and stuff. I didn't get the gotchas because I don't think I was in a position to be teaching children. But I have heard that in teaching situations, you do kind of get like kids trying to one-up you or trying to catch you out, trying to be like, actually, teacher, you're stupid. Hi, Eric. Hello. I scanned the faces of about 20 or so antsy 4th graders. Wait, did I read that last one? Yeah. Okay, cool. No, I think I read this. Barely managed to hold that one together, but all things did not too bad. Okay, cool. I scanned the faces of about 20 or so antsy 4th graders. Have I done something to the audio? 1 second. BGM audio. That's all the way up. It just suddenly got really quiet. Like, really quiet. Weird. Alright. I scanned the faces of about 20 or so antsy 4th graders. Parent chaperones scold the most distracted of them with stiff hand motions. Some kids look up at me, expecting, waiting. Others have their fingers up their nose. None of them are raising their hands. Except for Ruben.
Anyone. Anyone at all.
Her voice is still the same height, though. Like, volume. Volume, that's the word. Height. Only birds respond. Ranger Adams, they chirp. Tell us about the old villages that were razed to the ground before this replica was built. Please. Yeah, it's getting loud again. Please, Ranger Adams. Tweet, tweet. Ruben is jumping off the ground now. His shirt rolls up as he thrusts his hands in the air and his belly spills over his cargo shorts. Stop being mean to the child! Oh my god. I count to 4 like my Jesse mandated counselors told me to do, then release a deep, deep sigh.
Go ahead, Ruben.
Where's the chief? Teacher said he would show us the sweat lodge.
Councilman Trampton got caught up with tribal affairs.
Are we still doing the sweat
Hi,
lodge?
Goonie. Thank you for 43 months. How you doing? Yeah, maybe it is because I went back in the dialogue. Hi, Goonie. If there is a mod awake, can we have a shout out for Goonie? If you have gone to bed, I will shout out the Goonie soon. I hope you're doing well on this Monday afternoon. This Monday Avo. You played Still Wakes the Deep and I missed it! Oh, I hate myself. What? Oh my god. I'm gonna have to watch the VOD. Oh my god. No, you're doing it today? When? Are you doing that tonight? Oh my god! Oh my god, tonight is so good! Yay! Yay! Oh my god, yes, I have something to do! Guys, watch Goody later. I'm gonna be there. Let's go. You're not starting until like this evening, right? Please don't tell me you're gonna start at like 4 p.m. because I'm not gonna be done until at least 4. I might not be able to raid. This isn't gonna go that long. Okay, good. Good. Okay, cool. Stream's canceled. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I really want to watch Cutie play Still X the Deep. I actually, guys, can I gush for a minute? You guys are gonna let me gush for a minute. Let me make sure I got the right Twitch. 1 second. I actually watched somebody play today, and it was so sweet. I was watching Naki. I watched Naki play Still X the Deep, and it was really nice, like seeing somebody react so genuinely and openly and honestly and emotionally to a game. I've been feeling, so like, this is a heavy stream, I can talk about stuff. I've been feeling a little bit like jaded lately about like people kind of just making content, and like so little of themselves comes through. And I get it, you know, like people are professional, blah, blah, blah. But like, I miss seeing, God, I sound so fucking pretentious. I miss seeing the human side of people while they're streaming, you know? And so it meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to me to see somebody like reacting so genuinely. So Naki, I hope you have a wonderful dinner. The honest side, like not trying to make everything into a clip. Not trying to make everything into, the vulnerable side, and not trying to make everything clippable or like a meme. You know? I don't know. I needed that just for a minute. And I suppose streaming isn't like the best place to look for it, but I do like that side of streaming, and I miss it sometimes. But yeah. And Tajarin, thank you for 29 months. Thank you. Hi, how you doing? Hi. But yeah, again, fair warning. Because I see some of you have just popped in. There is a content warning for this stream. It should be pinned at the top of the chat. If heavy topics like depression, suicide, alcoholism, or animal death make you upset or make it a bad time for you, please feel free to not hang out for this stream. I won't feel bad. I won't be mad at you. I won't be like, what do you mean you didn't hang out for the super depressing stream? I won't be sad. I'll be okay? Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. It's fine. I'll be fine. All right? I put that warning there so you can take care of yourself. We can hang out during something more lighthearted. Anyway. All right. You have a good sleep, Melkor. Thank you for stopping by. Wacha.
Doesn't look like it.
Poor Ruben. Tillers aren't really my jurisdiction, but sometimes when the stars decide they want to unalign and throw everything out of orbit, they get handed over to me. I like doing them more than I used to, but usually they're hikes or nature trails. But when it comes to the history and culture of the tribes down here, I just feel dirty, out of my depth. It's like killing someone in their home, then buying it up, only to turn the place into a haunted maze. Usually, someone from the American Indian Council or Mariposa County would be out here today. But today, these kids get me, with my red hair, freckles, and middle-class upbringing.
Do Indians still live here?
Rupin speaks up again, this time without raising his hands. He points around the ramshackle buildings and cabins compiled of local flora and bark. They're sturdy, but need to be rebuilt from time to time. To be honest, it's really not all that bad of a question, just don't like the mouth hole it's coming out of.
This village is just a replica. No Miwok or Awanichi people have lived in the park since the 60s. Even then, most were forced out by the Mariposa Battalion during the gold rush.
Oh, it's nice when my Oshi plays comfy games. What counts as a comfy game? I don't know if I'd call this comfy anymore. Couple parents cough into their fists. The teacher tugs at his collar.
Ranger Adams?
A fragile girl with pigtails steps up from behind Ruben. Her voice is quiet and meek. If her hair was a few shades lighter, she'd look a lot like Zion.
What is it, sweetie?
What do you mean by forced out?
Uh-oh. The teacher is pleading at me with his eyes. Meanwhile, the parents are stabbing me with theirs. Now all the kids, even the ones with low attention spans, are looking to me, their innocent states underscoring the thick silence. I sniff back the spring allergies.
You kids know what a genocide is?
Okay!
The teacher panic laughs and rushes to my side. He punctuates the tour with a clap of his hands.
How about we all go check out the museum?
Oh my god. That's just about the best reaction. Wow. Sorry, kids. JK, they were tickled out.
You can't be eating people's trash.
I don't know when I learned about. I might have been 10 or 11. But that's because we used to have a lot of history books in our house because my dad loves history. And oh no, when my sister was 13, she borrowed a book called Top 100 Evil People in History and I read it. And I remember that was when I learned about like the horrific history stuff, like all the stuff in Cambodia and World War II and all that other stuff. No, I don't know if he was in it because this was the early 2000s, so that wasn't really being discussed as much back then. Like, number 1 was Hitler, and I think number 2, I've forgotten his name. I'm really bad at remembering names, but like, I think I was about 10 or 11 when I started learning about that kind of stuff. And I remember asking my dad about it, and it was funny. I think it was Pol Pot. No, it was Stalin. Number 2, they put Stalin. I think Pol Pot was maybe number 3. But I remember asking my dad about it, and because my dad loved history, he was maybe a little bit too eager to tell me about it. And I remember he used to get like really, really animated, being like, oh, and it was terrible and fucked up, and this happened, and all that other stuff. Hi, Tripler. Yes, there's a lot of serious content warnings for these chapters. Okay. Gripping the scruff of his neck, I drag Pup onto the cabin porch, his paws scratching and sliding on the wooden planks. He's growing so fast I don't even believe it until I try to carry him for myself. There's an old saying that if you pick a calf up every day from the time it's born to the time it's an adult, you'll be able to hoist it up when it's fully grown. Clearly, I missed a few days with Pup. He rolls his head to my arm and nips at my wrist.
Ow! Why, you little...
The sharp pain dulls as I check my wrist. No major damage, just a scrape etched down my arm. Pup gallops across the field, then spins in circles like he has a chance of finding the end of infinity.
I am not having this lack of cooperation.
He sniffs at a dead bird, so decomposed that its remaining mass has flattened into the ground. Then he rolls around in it. Aww. It's not like he ever listened to me to begin with, but lately it felt like he's untamable. He won't dare nip at Zion, but me, Yosemite, and even Yellowstone have gotten snapped at him by him recently. He's a sweet boy, but it's almost becoming an issue. I'll just have to spend more time training him, I guess. Maybe the weekends, since I've started going on regular hikes with Yellowstone and Zion, they've begun feeling a little more open. Can't explain it. It's like a psychological light switch. But I guess I'm not unhappy to have it flipped on. The sudden crack of shattering glass yelps from inside the cabin. My furrowed brow blocks half of my vision. In less than a second, I'm inside.
Somebody better have a replacement.
Can I turn this up anymore? It feels really quiet. Something is up with... No, it is okay. It is... Is it loud enough for you guys? I'm wondering if I've done anything to my settings recently because it feels way quieter for me now. I don't know. Like, that was pretty good audio. Okay, I think I've turned it down. I know what happened. Yesterday, I dropped my interface. Yeah, her head's a volcano. It's been a volcano this whole time. So glad I said I like Vivi playing comfy games right before the heck. It's okay, Spitty. It's okay. That actually was very good timing on your part. Very good timing. At least 100 shards of ceramic and glass are scattered at the base of her feet. The tray she was carrying is upside down and several feet away, water sliding behind it. We go through teapots like some families go through sourdough. Yellowstone doesn't react, not even as much of a head turn. She stares up at the corner, eyes stretched wide, mouth open. Leaning forward in her chair, Zion's jaw is slouched on the table. She's looking at me, but she's staring right through me. Maybe through the wall behind me.
Can someone say something?
A bolt of energy sizzles from the tip of my head to deep in my calves, deadbolting me to the floor. My entire body is held down by the weight, not because I can't move, but because I know I shouldn't. Yosemite is sitting in lotus over on my bed. Don't know when I gave her permission to do that, but there she is. Her back is turned to me. She faces the window. On the nightstand, a lit candle sways with the breeze that spirals through the cabin. The sweet scent of burning pine is brushed over to me. The candle flickers out.
Girls!
The tension in my body lifts, and I'm finally allowed to exhale. There's a moment of clarity, empty stillness, where all the questions I have right now feel like they have obvious answers. But as I inhale, the fog comes rolling back in, and I'm as confused as ever.
Yellowstone. I saw it too. What in the Sam Hill was that?
I don't know.
Did you see the girl?
Girl?
She was kinda hot.
What?
Not what I meant, but I get what you mean.
Zion scrunches up her tiny face. Yellowstone looks at her, and she looks at Yellowstone. They both twist their heads and look at me. I've had a lot of eyes on me today, but the primal part of my lizard brain is scared enough for me to take a few steps back.
Miss Eve? Did you see that vision too? Like, in your noggin?
Vision? No, nothing like that.
The smoke from the incense is thick. It feels tangible, like I could hop on it and ride it into the ether.
But as soon as I walked in here, I could feel something.
Feel something? Like what?
Tension, fear. I don't know. It just felt oppressive, I guess.
Spooky.
Reading Primal Lizard Brain makes me think of Disco Elysium. That makes me happy. Yeah. Zion gasps and jumps out of her seat, hovering there for a moment before floating back down.
Yosemite, what about you?
Thank you for the follow, Mobius. Welcome to the bunker. Yosemite doesn't speak. Yosemite doesn't turn around. Yosemite doesn't do anything. She just sits there, back turned, legs still crossed, unflinching, braving whatever little world she's in all by herself.
Yo, Slow-simity. You catching some Z's over there or what? Slow-simity.
Zion's eyes widen and her mouth stretches into a giant O.
Oh, I get it! That's very clever, Yellowstone.
She claps her hands together to congratulate her friend, but Yellowstone is too busy chewing on her nails to bask in it. Whatever they saw must have shaken her. Hard to blame her, though. Whatever it was, I felt has me shook, too. It wasn't just a passing feeling like lightheadedness or vertigo. It was something real enough that it could bury itself deep under my skin.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen you shut up for this long. What's the deal?
Marching over to my little nook of the cabin, I stepped between Yosemite and the wall. I stared down at her. For the first time since getting to know each other, I feel like the tall one.
Eve?
Trembling, Yosemite stares up at me, spots of tears dabbing at the corner of her eyes. 6 feet of ego and superiority contorted into a vulnerable ball. Before I can even process what she's feeling or how that makes me feel, she pounces off the bed and wraps her long tree branch arms around me.
Whoa. Oh, okay. Forgot you were a hugger, but sure.
Oh, is it too loud? I'm so sorry. I had it up kind of loud because I thought you guys couldn't hear the voices. Okay. Her weight almost drags us both down onto the bed, but my calves are strong enough to keep us anchored to the floor. That's not what I meant when because when you said it's a fight of audio, I thought you meant like you were fighting to hear me over the audio. Okay, cool. Okay. Sorry, that was me not understanding. She tightly clings to my uniform, stretching the fabric as she does the bare minimum to keep herself held up. There's not any sobbing, but the tears are there and I can feel them bleeding through my shirt. The quiet part of me says to push her away and tell her to suck it up, but the louder part of me cuts through all the nastiness and tells me Yosemite is worthy of pity. My hand, awkwardly hovering over the back of her head, goes limp. I stroke her hair until I reach her back, then I just ride out the embrace.
What's wrong with Yosemite?
Tactical Badger, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the bunker.
Does she know what that was? Cause I don't know Jack Diddley. Tell me what the Jack is, Yosemite. Tell me about the Diddley.
Tell me about the Diddley. That's a... As a Simpsons fan, I like that line. Tell me about the Diddley. Asilius, hello. This is something that was told to me because I did ask, I asked a friend who also knows about, like, this series, about what content warnings I should do and stuff. And she brought up that Yellowstone is going to be what cuts a lot of the tension. She is going to do a lot of the humor. The two of them rush over, not giving a single second of extra thought to the idea of crowding a crying girl.
Oh, no you don't.
Dragging Yosemite's mask with me, I step over to the curtain and slide it closed, cutting off Zion and Yellowstone's stampede.
You bet this fail, Missy. I need answers. Yes, this is extremely unfair, Miss Eve.
Yellowstone, seemingly unaware that she has the power to peel back the veil, presses herself against the curtain, the outline of her body coming at us through the fabric like bad 3D effects, like SpongeBob in that one episode.
Tough. The adults need to talk.
Careful to dodge Yosemite, I kick Yellowstone back using the center of my foot. She summons back, and although I can't see it, I hear the crash landing.
We are much older than you, I'll have you know.
Whatever you say, Squirt. Come back to me once you sprout up a few more inches.
Please, you two.
Yosemite manages to choke back her tears, long enough to plead with them between sniffles.
Just a few minutes, okay?
The other side of the curtain goes quiet. Enough time for Yosemite to take another dance with hysterics as she tries, and fails, to compose herself. Zion floats to the top of the curtain rail to peer down at us. She blows me a ripe, juicy raspberry, then drops back down with a defiant humph. With those two out of the way, I tug Yosemite back towards the bed and have to shove her onto it to get her to stop clinging to me.
All right, let's take a few seconds to breathe.
Yosemite nods her head up and down, covering her mouth with her hand, like that'll actually keep me from seeing her tears, or shame, whichever makes her the most embarrassed, and I'm positive that one, or the other, or both, does. Aww. I climb into the bed and do the crisscross applesauce thing, which, in these khakis and in this uniform, is no easy task. The comfort is soft and warm, retaining Yosemite's body heat. We both sink into the bed, the frame struggling beneath our collective weight.
Tell me what happened.
She nods and takes a steadying breath.
Well, it's hard to put into words. Nearly unexplainable.
Hi, Faye! I am doing well.
Just pretend you're smart.
Can we have a shout out for Faye, please?
Should be easy for you.
It's only easy because you're so mediocre.
Damn. Aww. With a half smile, she thumbs away the last few tears. I take off my hat and thank you, Afro, thank you. And plant it on her head, twisting it on hard and tight so it smothers her smug face.
Spill it.
It was like... I experienced things.
Welcome to consciousness.
She tilts back the hat. Her eyes pop out from beneath it like a groundhog ready for spring.
I'm serious. Not just sights, but sounds and smells too. I could recount how I was feeling when I laughed at a joke. Complicated instances where things felt bitter and sweet, but still full. Even extremely specific energy. The richness of a moment where you really pay attention to it. Imprints.
So what, like a vision? That's gotten tossed out there already.
I suppose. Although I feel like that implies more disconnect from it. They felt more like...
Chuckling, she rolls her eyes. There's a crack in her voice, and I realize she's doing it to keep herself from crying again.
Well, I suppose they felt more like memories, Eve.
Memories?
Thank you for always repeating everything I say. It's very reaffirming.
In my defense, if my defense mechanism is the black comfort of nihilism, then hers is the icy delight of sarcasm. But I think I have an idea of what it's defending her from, and that knowledge makes it harder to blame her.
Are they yours? Pretty sure all three of you saw the same thing. I could feel it as soon as I walked in.
I am enjoying it. We're on to chapter 4. I have read this before. The one that I haven't read in its entirety is chapter 5. But we're slowly getting there, and it's been a while since I've read this. And I think when I did read it, honestly, I think I didn't read it very fully. So it's nice being able to experience it properly. But this one is going to be very heavy. So that we got the content warnings up.
Positive. Every living thing in this park flows through me. I feel it. My perception of being is specific to me. Unique. Did you just say you felt it?
It was just a hunch or something. You were all spaced out. Frankly, I'm jealous of your ability to disassociate.
Why am I getting so defensive? I felt what I felt. In a way, I experienced it as strongly as how Yosemite said she experienced her little episode. It would be so much easier to confront her if I could just pass it off as a fever or food poisoning.
You must be spending too much time around us.
Preach into the choir.
We both snort, letting the silence take over as we smile at each other. Since our entire friendship is a game of chicken, we hold out to see who breaks first. It's Yosemite. Her eyes dodge mine and droop down at the bedsheets. I do the same. Aww. Thank you,
You
Robin.
gonna tell me what you saw?
No avoiding it, huh?
For most people, you absolutely can avoid things. It's easy. But for her, I don't think it is. She always goes for the most difficult option. It's just her ego and inability to admit when she's being an idiot that makes it harder than it has to be.
It wasn't just one moment that I experienced. There were multiple moments, and it felt like I was being sucked through all of them. Through time. Languages I could understand at the time, but that seemed completely dead to me now. People I knew and was happy to see, even though I can't pin down who they are.
Her forehead creases with wrinkles, and the flow of information slows to a contemplative trickle.
One of them was a girl.
I knew it! I knew we saw the same gal!
Yellowstone's voice booms out like a disruptive firework.
Eavesdropping is supposed to be quiet. You need to be considerate when we're being rude. All this stuff is giving me the willies. If I don't get them deets, I'm gonna flip.
Yeah, curtain doesn't really block that out.
Keep up the screeching and I will actually give you something to be afraid of.
And I won't stop her.
There's immediate silence. Then Zion whispers.
Don't listen to her. We can take her on if we have to.
Instead of storming through the curtain, I roll my eyes. Your time will come, girls. Your time will come.
Continue.
It's the same as before, really. I couldn't tell you who she was, but I knew her.
Why does she have a crater on her head? Because she is Yellowstone National Park. You know the super volcano? Yeah, that's her. So she has a volcano to represent all the geysers and stuff.
She was carrying this woven basket. It looked heavy, so I wanted to help. And when she turned around, it was like comfort, relief, and happiness and belonging. Sounding crazy enough for you yet?
Nothing does at this point.
If any barrier she had erected between the two of us was still standing, I'm pretty sure it just got knocked down. She pulls her feet out from the pretzel they're in and balls her knees close to her chest.
The strangest thing about it was that there was one thing that connected all the scenarios.
Besides yourself?
No, because the through line was that it all took place here in the park. I was present in more ways than one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Kantai, but gayo. As much as I want to be here for Yosemite right now, this is starting to make my head hurt.
And you're sure about that?
As sure as I am about everything else so far.
Eve looks so pretty right here. What the hell? This is like the prettiest Eve has looked. Also, hi, Wonderful. Hi. Groaning, she buries her face in her knees, the rest of her head buried under my hat.
If only I could visit. I feel like everything would start to make sense.
Then go visit. It's not like you can't go wherever you want in this park.
It doesn't work like that, you
She nearly stumbles into a casual insult but catches herself.
precious thing.
Hi, Zoe. Hello. Not even a good save.
I can only go to places that I know of. Obviously, that's most places here, but occasionally there are areas even I'm not familiar with.
Swear to God, of How to Save a Life by the Frey comes. I used to love that song so much. I think one of the first times I ever heard it was to an Oran High School Host Club AMV. I fake a gasp.
Are you saying the great and wise Yosemite doesn't know everything?
It's a fact that actively irritates me, so don't rub it in. But yes, I'm afraid I don't even know where to start. Which means even after seeing all this, I'm still no better off than I usually am.
The thrills of despair are as long as they are sharp, and its talons are clutched around Yosemite. It was hard to see when we first met, but it's clear to me now. There's so much she wants to know, but so much is keeping her from it. Mostly knowledge, or the lack of it. No wonder she reads so much.
There's nothing about it in any of those books of yours?
Her head slinks back and forth.
I've read everything I own multiple times. If there were anything helpful, I'd remember.
I hope. She doesn't say I hope. She's kind of pathetic. Not even kind of, she just is. A far cry from the fearsome spirit that challenged me when I first stationed here, though I think that version of her never really even existed to begin with. I compare her to a tree a lot, but I think it works. At first she seemed tall and mighty, her presence shading the cabin at all time. But with a few slow and powerful swings of an axe, she's been chopped down to my size. But when you're way down where I'm at, there's nothing about you that feels powerful. No matter how much wisdom or strength you can claim you have, that's how things are when you're this low. And that's why I'm going to help her.
I guess I have no choice then.
Oh, she's got the hat still! She has the hat on! I slide off the bed and stretch.
No choice but to do what?
But to take you to the research library.
It's not a big deal to me, so I let the info slip out casually. But to her, let's just say this will be my second good deed for the year.
Research library?
I glance over my shoulder.
Who's repeating whom now?
She crawls across the bed and grabs my suit.
Are you saying such a place exists? You aren't lying just to make me cry, are you?
You have some serious trust issues, man.
Are you?
Her eyes start to water again, proving my previous theory about the chopped tree. Though, at this point, she's looking more like a garden plant.
It's real and it's a perk of the job. Open to researchers and staff. Guess which one I am?
Suddenly her eyes are dry. Suddenly she's on her feet, and suddenly she's shaking me back and forth.
Why didn't you tell me about this before?
I anchor myself to the ground to minimize the damage from the oncoming whiplash.
Because you keep stealing my credit card to buy used books online. Why would I reward that behavior?
If I knew this existed, I wouldn't have had to indulge in your capitalist system to begin with.
You're welcome.
The shaking stops. Her expression goes blank, hopefully from contemplating the selfishness that boils in her at all times. She course corrects and puts on a grin, then swings her arms around me and pulls me in for a hug.
Thank you.
Her hug squeezes the air out of me, and I'm already realizing I'm so tired.
When are we going?
Let go of me. We can leave as soon as I change out of my uniform. There's a van down by the station we can use.
Oh, I haven't tried my hand at driving before.
You're not driving.
Before Yosemite can object, Yellowstone zips open the curtain.
Hold your horses. Girls aren't just gonna speed off and leave us in the dark, are ya?
Yes, we are.
We're just as clueless as you are. If we figure anything out, we'll be sure to let you know.
But, I have questions.
I have questions.
Isn't life funny that way?
Try not to lose sleep over it.
Yosemite hums happily to herself as I start for the bathroom. Before I close the door, I hear Zion comfort her friend.
Don't worry, Yellowstone. We can just play Uno instead of thinking.
If I ever have
So,
an
in
Uno
1901,
stream,
the
let's
Santa
say
Legend
Uno
was
instead of
thought
thinking.
forms.
Hi, Gray.
A collection of their compiled work that was written from a theosophical perspective discussing the visualization of the emotions and thoughts people experience every day.
A bug splats onto the windshield, one of many that are now caked onto the car. I pull down the lever and cleaning fluid sprays onto the window. My windshield wipers mostly just spread the mess back and forth, the only serving to make things more slippery.
This is important because it's part of a wave of
She's
expansion
so pretty.
of Western esotericism that occurred going into the 20th century, alongside groups such as the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
Okay. That almost sounds like a Skyrim thing. I think because of the word dawn. Actually, no, that's an Oblivion thing. Mythic dawn. I've been driving so much today. The library is right next to the replica village I was giving the tour at earlier. If all of this had happened before I went in for work, I would have just brought Yosemite with me to save on gas.
But the real big takeaway from it, at least in my opinion, is that in the book,
Good night,
the
Alexandra.
lay out 3 principles for this philosophy: quality of thought, nature of thought, and definiteness of thought.
At least it's not too big of a loss. This drive is always therapeutic. Any drive where forests border me on both sides of the road are, even if this is one of the busiest areas of the park.
There are certain details that I disagree with, but they're the backbone of Dr. Angela Merrick's theory that I've been trying to elaborate on. That being mind creates matter.
Hope those kids are on a bus headed home by this point. Running into them would be sure to bulldoze what's left of my pride after how that tour went. Huh. Wonder if Yellowstone will save some leftovers for us. To be honest, I'm not sure when we're going to be back. We could be out well into the night if we find a lead.
Are you even listening to me?
My attention turns from the beauty of Yosemite the park to the poutiness of Yosemite the girl. You'd be surprised by the difference and the similarities.
Not gonna lie, I tuned out everything after Crowley. It's all voodoo to me.
The Lima, actually. But because you're helping me out, I'll let your disrespect slide just this once.
It's not disrespect. I just wasn't listening.
Yosemite stabs me with her eyes, shanking me with hundreds of tiny, passive-aggressive daggers. Then she sighs and gives up. Because I win. Always. And forever.
So, before I get my hopes up...
Oh my god, you have hopes? Next you're gonna
The
tell me
smile.
you have dreams, too!
Before I throw you out of this vehicle, what do you think the chances are of us actually finding something of value at this library?
It depends on what you're looking for. This isn't exactly a public library, you know. It has records, essays, articles, and a bunch of other things I'm sure only you will find interesting.
Despite the last-second jab at her, Yosemite's knees bounce with restrained excitement as I list off the library's collection.
It sounds like a treasure trove. I won't be sure of what we're looking for until we get there, but now I'm positive we'll find it.
The face. She notices her bouncing knee, then slams her fist down on the shin. It stops. She glances at me, looks out the window, turns to look at me again, then finally commits to the window.
Whatever it is.
What a freak. It's a little fun to watch, though. Makes me wonder just what exactly is going on in her head.
You sure do have a fetish for learning, huh?
Fetish? Is there not a single bone, or organ, or tendon in your body that isn't crude? It is a fascination. Understand, you barbarian?
Sure.
Ooh, learning? I do. I understand that she's embarrassed because I hit the nail right on top of its fragile little head. She huffs and puffs like a fussy grandma.
But, yes, if you're actually wondering, I find acquiring new information to be a joy. And the more I can indulge in it, the better.
As an engineer, I relate to that line every time I have to talk to a businessman. I hide my teasing beneath a cough.
Fetish. I despise you! Sometimes.
You're not exactly a barrel of dandelions either.
She stretches my hat over her head until she looks like she's wearing a mask. It's hard to tell for sure over the rushing wind from outside, but I'm almost convinced I can hear the first few syllables of a muffled laugh.
I have my reasons, you know.
Just make out already! Skirling out of the depths of my hat, Yosemite plops her chin down on her fist and gazes out the window. Being a pretentious snob is the first response that zaps through my mind. But I decide to hold off because as much as I love getting under her skin, it's pretty cheap to devalue the things people care about. I know that. Or at least, I do now.
Your research, right?
Yes, but not only that.
Yeah, that would be a pin if we didn't need the content warning. The seat squeaks as she shifts around. She settles on one position, her posture a little stiffer, then decides that's too uncomfortable and slouches. The process repeats itself. Hi, Stripes.
Retaining information is difficult, especially in the long haul. I first noticed it with Zion. Then me, eventually. Memories seemed fuzzier. Details that used to be clear just began slipping away.
It's been about a week since the big blowout between Yosemite and Zion. All Zion wanted was to spend time together at a picnic, but Yosemite let the worst of herself get a hold of her and warped the nice gesture into a test to see if she could trigger some memories in Zion. The North Guardian Angel was gorgeous, but that's one picnic I don't want to relive.
I noticed it in Yellowstone, too. Sometimes when she's cooking or cleaning or even just playing with Zion, she'll pause. Get this faraway look in her eyes, like she's missing something. I think it happens to all of us at one point or another. It might just come with the territory, with existing. But it feels like a curse.
You sure it's not just existing that's the curse?
It's all perspective, I suppose. Sometimes it sure does feel that way.
Yeah, they are. They are both tsundere. They're different kinds of tsundere, but they're similar.
But for me, soaking up as much information as I possibly can. About anything. Even things that might seem silly or esoteric. Is how I cope with it. To make sure I never truly delude myself into thinking the essence of existing is suffering. Because there needs to be more to it than the things that scare me.
Her words are desperate, but she says them with enough conviction for me to know that she repeated this mantra to herself until she ended up believing it. Or at least until she got attached to it.
Color me jealous.
Are you setting up a sarcastic punchline? Or is this a segue into genuine admiration for me?
Hi, Code Cobra.
The fact that you think jealousy equates to admiration says more about you than me.
Different types of tsundere. I would say so. They don't feel like the exact same kind of, like, it could just be personality. They are tsundere, but she's more of a everything in life fucking sucks and I'm taking that out on you. And this one is more of like a teasing, a lot of, what do you call it? Kind of, I don't want to say the word egotistical, but sort of like, I'm better than you tsundere. So there's the condescending, thank you, Gray, condescending tsundere, and then the other one is more of the everything sucks, and like, yeah, it feels different. It feels different. I wouldn't say that all tsundere are the same either. Like, you have violent tsundere and you have non-violent tsundere. I don't think either of them count as the violent one, though.
But, yeah, I mean it. You have an actual philosophy to live by. A structure of belief that drives you to action. That means you're tenacious.
Actually, you're right, something. She did. I completely forgot. Okay, yeah, she's the violent one. She's the violent tsundere. She's the one who punches you into the sun. Holy shit. Oh my god. She's violent, but not a violent tsundere, right? She's not punching people because of ooh feelings. She is violent and a tsundere.
Not everyone is so lucky.
We smack a bump in the road. Dangling from the ignition, the keys jingle. I moaned about it to Jessie when I got reassigned, but I wish someone cared enough to do something about the potholes. I wish that person were me.
God, I'm getting secondhand depression just listening to you. Motivations, beliefs, whatever it is that keeps you diving headfirst into insanity. That isn't something you're either born with or without. Attributing it to luck undermines not only your ability to seek truth, but also the one current that flows through every living and natural thing.
I keep one eye on the road and one eye on Yosemite, waiting for her to follow up. She doesn't. Instead, we just hit another pothole.
Ask what it is. This conversation warrants anticipation.
You're unreal.
Ask me!
That's so cute. Ask me! She whines. I roll my eyes and validate the spoiled child, then channel my inner Yellowstone.
Hot Skippy, Yosemite! I don't got a clue about the thunk inside your thing. Hit me with them deeds.
Now she gives me the transcendent stare.
It's will. The intention to commit to an action that changes the surrounding environment. Intention. You have to have it when you get a cup of coffee. The Earth absorbs heat unevenly. Thus, it has intention to diffuse the gas via wind. But to act on intention takes will, which means anything with the potential to act, at the very least, shares will. If something exists, but it actively denies its capacity to change its reality, it's either oblivious to the power of its will, or
She grins at me with smug pity.
it's scared of it.
Good night, Oya. Sleep well. She sure is devoted to making sure her points are theatrical revelations. Gotcha therapy.
Dang, Yosemite. Your 8th grade pseudo-philosophy stabilized the serotonin in my body for the first time in years. I could feel my bootstraps lifting me into the sky as we speak.
Quit strawmanning me with an adage I didn't even say. I just want you to act on your potential in a positive way. Because right now you're only using it to constipate yourself. With fear, probably anger too.
Wait, shut up. Did you just imply that you have an emotional investment in my long-term happiness?
Yosemite raises her finger to speak, then drops it. Her mouth mindlessly hangs open, frozen in stasis. Her hands fall to her lap, the safest place in the world. She fiddles with her thumbs instead of looking at me.
I do. Yeah.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Thanks, I guess.
While the voice on the inside of my head is busy screaming, I try to admire some of the trees on the side of the road. So textured, so green, so easy to distract myself with as I avoid the reality of somebody continuing today's tradition of being vulnerable. Aniki Aria, thank you for 2 years. Yay, we celebrate with Yuri. These bitches gay. Good for them. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the last 2 years. Thank you. It's hard to swallow, because if Yosemite, with all her egotism and faux put-upons, can make the conscious effort to be truthful about her emotions, then I don't really have an excuse. And that sucks. Which is why I need to offer her a way out. Now.
It's just funny you say that, since there are some implications that crop up from that.
Hina, are you from Lulu's Life is Strange streams? Or am I mistaking you for somebody else? Because I think I remember you. Ah, yes. Yay, I remember names a little bit. A little tiny bit. Hello, it's good to see you again.
Like what?
She doesn't say it with any ironic doubt or guilted pity. It's plain and curious and genuine and compromises some of my defenses. Quite frankly. I grip the steering wheel until the rubber squeaks under my hand.
Well, you know, like how if you believe the potential for will exists in every natural thing, then you're saying people are part of nature, inherently. That's pretty optimistic for you, don't you think?
Eve.
She leans in and adjusts the rearview mirror, shifting it to face me. When she's done, she folds her hands for punctuation. When I look at the mirror, I don't get the privilege of looking out the back window. I get to look at myself.
I said what I said.
Aw. Thank you for the head pats. Thank you for proving it. Switch!
A blue 5.
They're actually playing Uno!
Let me see. There. 5. And I know you don't have any reds left. You may have to draw. Yellowstone. Stop daydreaming. It's your turn. This is very serious. Oopsie daisy. Me and my dilly-dallying. Let's see. Red 5, huh? Well, any other day this would put me in a real pickle. But I'm thinking this wild card right here is gonna land me in Uno! Again? You always save the fancy cards for last. It's extremely unfair. One more round. Yeah. Yellowstone. If you don't want to play, I really wish you would come out and say it. What? No, that's not what's... Golly, I'm sorry, Zion. I just got brain worms squirming around in the old nine.
Worm mention. By the way, it is Echo Gummy's birthday. Make sure you wish Echo a happy birthday. There was a worm mention. I'm allowed to bring this up.
Brain worms? Don't tell me you actually ate one of our mud pies again. Nah, not this time. It's that memory, dream, vision, whatchamacallit we all had. I can't stop thinking about it. And I'm the best at not thinking about things.
Yellowstone doesn't have an anger issue. It's Eve that has anger issues.
Well, it was a very intense experience. It only makes sense for it to linger with you. But it's more than that. It was like I was seeing things through some other fella's eyes. Like it wasn't me. I had a similar feeling. It was such a relief once it was over. You're telling me. Except, it still kind of feels like I'm there. And then I got to thinking, what if what I saw in the whatchamacallit was the real me? And the me that's here right now is just a phony?
Gab, thank you for 33 months. Thank you.
What if I don't actually exist? What if you, Yosemite, Eve, and this entire park don't exist? That's real screwed up, Yellowstone.
No.
Oh,
Existential crisis, babe.
everything seemed so solid before. Now it all seems flimsy. Like a thin tater chip you can see through.
Yeah, but the volcano is dormant. Like, it's not active right now, so no, she doesn't have anger issues. She does bottle up her emotions, and she cried really hard in episode 2, but she's not angry. She doesn't have anger issues. That's not where they went with her character.
Don't be bummed out, Yellowstone. Here, let me draw us another hand and we can talk about it until you feel better. Really? You do that for me? Of course. I love you.
Aww.
And besides, existence is extremely strange, especially if it's not something you consider very often. Is it? Until Evo came along, I always felt like any Jack and Jill you'd see on the hiking trail. Well, minus the condom. But the way she talks about us makes me feel like some kind of goober that shouldn't be real. Like we're something out of a dream. It's interesting that you mentioned dreams. People have theorized that life is one big dream since people could theorize.
That's true.
Oh, like that one banger we always jam to. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, merrily,
They did sing that, the other
merrily,
one.
Life is but a... Oh. What is it? Do you know that fancy word? That one that happens to you when your ticker starts beating real quick and you get so spooked you start sweating and it just keeps going until your brain sort of farts? Anxiety? Zion, I think I have anxiety.
That was beautiful. Yo, say. Oh my god. I just shifted around in my chair. What the fuck? Comedy go. Comedy go. That always makes me think of Mabel from Gravity Falls. Comedy go. I hop out of the car and slam the door shut. Yosemite steps out and eases it shut. I don't hear it latch. The parking lot, grey and faded from the elements, bleeds into the replica village. We don't have to go and seek out the library because it's right there, edging into the village's territory like an unwelcomed invader. The stone archway and kitsch arts and crafts wood paneling don't do much to hide the facade.
Did you lock it?
Yes, Yosemite.
You didn't forget to turn the headlights off, did you?
There
I love
are
her in her
lots,
hat.
Yosemite.
Did the engine sound weird to you? Because
You can stop now, Yosemite.
They're such a couple!
little things tend to add up, you know.
Yeah, like you're complaining.
Yosemite pouts in huffy silence, mouthing my words and scrunching her face into an impression of me. An overgrown child on an ego trip.
So how long do I have to wear this hat for anyway?
She tilts up the brim of the hat like a wannabe cowboy.
Until those daggers on the sides of your head fall off.
My ears are beautiful.
Yes.
And also distracting. We'll have a lot of explaining to do if someone sees them.
I think everyone else should explain to me why their ears are so round and stub.
I tug the hat over her eyes and start for the library. She pops back up from underneath the hat.
Disrespectful.
You know all about that.
I wait for Yosemite at the door for 5 seconds longer than I'd like. When I turn around to scold her, she's frozen in the middle of the pathway, gazing at the replica village. She doesn't flinch, breathe, or move, as if she's in another trance. Okay, I guess she can have 10 more seconds. I whistle her over and pull her back to reality. She shuffles over to me, only looking back once before meeting me at the door. Instead of letting me, an employee of this park and the federal government, do it, she drags the damn thing open herself and barges in.
Museum!
Yosemite's mouth drops in awe as her voice echoes across the giant showroom. Dozens of Native American artifacts, from pottery to woven baskets, are displayed in glass cases of glass. A handful of people quietly enjoying the exhibit turn to us. My embarrassment is camouflaged by Yosemite's childlike joy.
I'm just going to sneak in real quick and read some of the plaques.
Oh, no, you aren't.
I snag her by the hood of her jacket and pull her down a hallway behind me.
But
We'd be here all day. You can come back another time.
one day.
She goes limp, accepting her fate for the time being. I'm sure she'll keep this in her back pocket and guilt me into bringing her back eventually. The hallway is lined with mundane wooden doors, most of which are just offices and break rooms for the staff. One of them is for storage, too, if I'm remembering right. At the end of the hall is the last door is held open by a rubber door stopper. A faded plaque hangs on the wall next to it. Yosemite National Park Research Library.
Oh. Is this it?
That's right.
I was expecting something more elegant.
Ha!
Kneeing the door open, I squeeze through and let it smack Yosemite while it closes.
Ow! Thin ice.
Already melted.
I start to dig into my pocket for my lanyard and identification when a familiar sing-songy voice calls out to me.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie, but we aren't open to the public. Eve?
Oh my god, she's gonna have to introduce them! Sitting at the front desk, Jessie pokes her head out from behind a stack of paperwork, her hat balanced neatly on top of it.
Jessie, what are you doing here? Cheryl's always here on weekdays.
Well, Cheryl and some of the museum staff got laid off in the last round of budget cuts,
Ow.
so the upper brass has been exploiting, relying on volunteers more. So I thought, what the hey, I'm a registered volunteer, may as well take a vacation day to look after the old place and get some work done.
Her mouth is saying one thing, but the twitch in her eye is saying something entirely different.
So you're not getting paid for this?
What can I do for you, Eve?
She sounds like she's about to cry. Yosemite looks on in stoic horror.
Your lives sound like nightmares.
Jessie perks up, staring right through me, and at the shiny new person she can hone her social skills with.
Oh, and who is this? I never see you with someone else, Eve.
If only she knew that this person was who I've been spending most of my precious time with lately.
Friend from college. She's looking for some reference material before her study gets reviewed.
A friend, huh? Do you let all your friends wear your hats? Or only the cute ones?
She leans against the desk and wiggles around like a cat about to pounce on its toy. Very amusing, Jessie. Her immediately going for the hat is a little too close for comfort, though. If she digs up the truth about Yosemite now, it'll basically confirm to me that she has a sixth sense.
Whatever you're trying to imply, you should stop.
Boo. You never talk about yourself. What choice do I have but to guess?
To not.
You could at least tell me her name.
I'm halfway through taking my first breath when Yosemite dives in front of me and snatches Jessie's hand so she can vigorously shake it.
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Lilith. If you want, you can put a doctor in front of that on account of my PhD, which I'm very proud of.
Oh my god, the ego in this one. She has a backstory ready and everything. It's the role she's deluded herself into believing she was born to play. Jessie plays into Yosemite's narcissism and shakes her hand. Whether she actually believes this obvious lie or she's just going along with it to entertain herself, I'm not sure.
Oh, impressive. You keep some interesting company, Eve.
Yeah, she's the salt of the earth.
Well, Lilith, it's nice to meet you too. I'm Eve's supervisor.
Yes, Jessie. I've heard so much about you. Thank you for looking after my tiny friend here.
My
I know
tiny
she can be a
friend.
handful most of the time, but I think having positive influences like you has made her life significantly less miserable, despite her best efforts.
She's really going for it, putting every ounce of her being into the performance. Unfortunately for you, Yosemite, you're not the only ones who can use words.
Oh, Lilith. You've changed so much since your days of passing out drunk on the lawns of frat houses, you massive piece of human garbage.
The room gets quieter than most libraries ever have the privilege of being. Having miscalculated the length of time I would put up with her crap in public, Yosemite's face goes pale.
Damn. I'm not sure how you two haven't killed each other yet.
It's a struggle.
Jessie leans back in the rolling chair, decompressing with a sigh. Her eyes are half shut, ready to embrace the sweet gift of a catnap the moment we're out of sight.
So, do you need me to pull out anything specific, or would you rather sift through the whole library?
Again, Yosemite grabs the conversation by the neck before I can even respond.
We'll dig through the whole library. It could mean we're here for a while, though.
That's fine. Just make sure to sign in. I don't know who looks at the sheet, but I'm sure it's important to someone somewhere.
I like Jessie. She pushes forward a clipboard with a pen chained to it. I snag it before Yosemite can and log the time. For the name, I just put Eve Adams and Company. Yosemite takes it after I'm done anyway, then writes down the name of her new persona in the column below. She sticks her nose in the air, but we both know this victory is mine.
Just around this corner, then?
You make it sound simple, but yeah. Let me know if you need anything, girls. Good luck!
The cheerful tone ringing in Jessie's voice gives me every reason to be concerned. Too ominous, too knowing. She shoos us away with a wave and slides the next form off the leaning tower of bureaucracy. The instant we turn the corner, it's horrifyingly apparent why she wished us good luck.
Christ, it's worse than I remember.
I assumed this would be a daunting task, but this is unwieldy.
The library is stacked to the ceiling with cardboard boxes. Overstuffed folders spill from the shelves. It's like if Yosemite took her research and sprinkled it across the cabin. How could anyone ever let it get like this? I take 3 hesitant steps into the eye of the storm. My shoulder brushes against a pile of boxes. The top box teeters over and crashes onto the floor, binders and folders and paper scattering across the floor. Thank you for the follow, St. Jimmy. Thank you. Is your name a reference to Green Day, or is that just a happy little coincidence? Because I love that. I love that entire album. I sigh and say a prayer for the mercy of death.
Where do we even start?
Well, Eve,
Somebody bends over and starts gathering up the mess I've made. Not that it's any more recognizable than the bigger mess we're already starting in.
I suppose you'll just have to start on the left, and I'll just have to start on the right.
Green Day and a Jimi Hendrix painting, my friends. Oh, that's awesome! Nice name. I like it. Lovely to meet you. Welcome to the bunker.
And then we'll meet in the center?
Oh, Eve, don't be so difficult. For my sake, you can drag yourself further to the right.
Whoop. Switch. All right, Yosemite. Multiple hours have passed since we've entered the library. Whenever I look at the clock, I'm surprised by how late it's gotten. There are no windows in this room, so it's impossible to gauge the time. When we entered, the golden sheen of afternoon was still beating down, but if we left now, I'm sure we'd be greeted by the blue tint of twilight. Not that I want to leave. Despite being at first intimidated by the lack of cohesion here, I've grown to enjoy being in this space. Not because it's especially beautiful or comfortable, after all. It is just an unambitious, sterile building surrounded by far more interesting wilderness. I enjoy it because I'm surrounded by heaps and mountains of information. With so much knowledge of places and people at my disposal, this space has become a watchtower of sorts for me. Only several minutes ago, I finished flipping through a decades-old study on mule deer within the park. What's a mule deer? I want to look up a mule deer. I thought Vivi was an American Indian Dookie kind of fan. Like, you never really talk about the music. I mean, I had the album. My mom burned the American Idiot album for me, and I really liked all of the songs on there. 1 second. Mule deer. What do mule deer look like? Huh. They look cute. Look at them. Look at them. Cute. They taste good too? Ooh. Interesting. Deer! I approve. I'm sorry, I just considered eating one. I'm sorry. Sorry, Faye. It was a very cute deer. Okay. When I closed my eyes and watched my breath, the emotions I was feeling would bloom into images, and I would see a mule deer. It would be cautiously glancing around, just within view of the astonishing height of the Bridal Veil Fall. When it was sure it was safe, it would graze, and peace would wash over it. Tornadoes? Okay, Faye. The bliss of a clean consciousness uncorrupted by ego. Then I would feel it too, as if I were that deer. It was obvious to me. That deer was existing somewhere in this park. Even now, it still does. It was as clear to understand as having an arm, and as easy to believe as you being capable of moving it. That's why this place is a watchtower. It's the same reason why I feel so at home in the cabin, I suppose. Information is documented evidence of existence, and when circled by it, I can experience it all.
How you doing over there?
Nerd! Eve calls out to me. We've both picked our own cramped tables to station ourselves at, her with one stack of pamphlets and books, and me with another.
Stimulated. Nothing has triggered anything quite like that vision yet, but I'm learning tidbits about myself, the park that I didn't know. Also, a lot of this is validating info I already knew, which is invaluable to me, I assure you.
She scoffs and rolls her eyes, which I love. It's the whole reason I play up my snobbery, her reactions. They fuel me. But also, they reveal so many important things about her. Her fire and her unwillingness to fight, even if she didn't. Oh my god! I'm sorry, did she just use the word love? Okay. I have not played Firewatch, but I do own it. Somebody gifted it to me a long time ago. I think it was Bucking. The Ranger is my friend. I admit that. Happily. Her offering to help and to take me here so I can learn about the things that plague me most is proof of our friendship. It doesn't matter to me if she feels the same, opposite, or any other way. Whatever is apparent is usually fact.
What are you up to over there? Staying protective, I hope?
I'm so happy for them.
Depends on your definition. It's probably nothing that would help you, if that's what you're wondering.
Try me.
I reach my hand out and wait for her to pass off the folder. She groans and with all her willpower and strength rises out of the folding chair. She is my friend, yes, but she still has a natural tendency towards laziness.
I was just starting to get comfortable, too.
Your noble sacrifice is noted.
Instead of handing me the folder, she swats away everything on the table that I was reading and flops it down in front of me.
So, what am I looking at here?
Words. They're a series of structured letters arranged in such a way to communicate information.
I take the folder and try smacking her face with it. She grabs my wrist and pins it back down to the table.
Next time.
Uh-huh. It's a collection of personal journals from folks who were in the Mariposa Battalion.
Brushing up on your Gold Rush history, are we?
Not really. I was giving a tour of the Awanichi village to some 4th graders earlier today, so it's been on my mind. Was gonna get into the real nitty-gritty of it all when their teacher got in the way. Don't think the parents were too happy with me.
Can't have little ears hearing inconvenient truths.
It was convenient for them in the long run. Convenient for Governor McDougal to give the go-ahead. Convenient for James Savage to lead. Convenient to manifest destiny and benefit from it.
Probably not so convenient for the Awanichi.
Probably not.
There's a stiff silence that follows, and for good reason. These are difficult things to contemplate. Time really isn't that big of a barrier between the past and the present. Old scars may as well be fresh wounds when gone untreated, and much like how I can feel the presence of that mule deer, I can feel those scars. They wrap around me, all of me, as integral as to this environment and space as the mountains and trees, unescapable. My memories may fade, but sorrow's imprint will always remain. To carry the burden of lingering horror and melancholy is my duty as Yosemite, I fear.
It's hard to find motivation to work here for a lot of reasons. But knowing what people are capable of and why this place is even a park to begin with, that might be the hardest.
Eve doesn't face me while saying these things. Her chin is down, as her eyes. Easier to internalize the results of history rather than confront her face to face.
Your action is more valuable than your guilt. Do your part by doing something. You've already had this epiphany. Now apply it elsewhere.
My words come out pointed and harsh, as intended. She's too much like me, getting so caught up in the web of her thoughts that nothing productive comes of it. That's why her and I need one another, so the other can cut through it.
As for the evils people do,
I flash her a smile. It's a forced one, and I'm not sure I'm particularly good at it, but levity is sometimes important for emphasizing points.
they're capable of much greater goods.
Eve smirks. My smile no longer feels forced. And then her smirk twists into smug distortion. She's such a wretched little thing.
Interesting to hear you, of all people, say that. The night we met, you couldn't stop talking about how people suck the big one.
It's not a rolling chair, but I forced myself to turn it in anyway. To let her see my reaction would be to admit that any of her turnarounds and comebacks actually have an effect on me. We can't have that. There are appearances to keep up. Appearances.
Perhaps this will surprise you, but even I am capable of having my mind changed.
Hey,
She doesn't say anything else, and I don't think she will until I acknowledge that she has something more to say. To end the game of chicken, I glance over my shoulder. Only casually, though.
it happens to the best of us.
Ah! To the best of us? I spin back around, a hair away from asking her to follow up on it. She only nods. I chuckle. Such a lie, but I don't mind the two of us deluding ourselves together.
We're hardly the best.
Of course we are. Of the worst.
The silence that follows isn't stiff this time. It's comfortable and lovely, like the mornings we share together. I do enjoy a good stimulating debate, but moments where nothing needs to be said are precious.
Speaking with your eyes, girls.
However, all precious things must come to an end, and this ending is brought to us by none other than Eve's supervisor herself, Jessie, I believe.
Just ignore her, Lilith. She'll eventually go away.
Jessie clutches her chest in agony.
Please. That one really hurt. All I want to do is tease and love on you. Is that so bad?
I'd say it's a good way to knock her down to size, but maybe she's short enough as it is.
Is that your screwed up way of defending me?
No, it was an insult.
See? Me and you could have this exact same dynamic if you only let it happen, Eve.
Is she coming under?
Trust me, what me and you have is better than this.
That one stops Jessie's tampering in one swift blow, reducing her to a stuttering, borderline blubbering state.
Oh. Well, thank you. Gosh, maybe I am making an impact.
She doesn't realize this was all just a way for Eve to get in a dig at me, but the compliment seems to make her happy enough, what with her restrained wiggling. Regardless, I do believe that Eve loves this woman quite a bit. I'd go as far as to say the appreciation may run so deep she would actually admit to if pressed.
Anyway, girls, just wanted to let you know that this place is technically going to close soon. But since Eve is staff, I don't see a problem with you staying. As long as you remember to lock up afterwards.
Good night, Afro. Thank you for helping. Mwah. Thank you. Sleep well. Sleep well. And my model has frozen. Mwah. There we go. Nope. Okay. If I have to change to animated PNG, I fucking will. Now it makes sense as to why Eve was so fond of her. Jessie is wonderful.
Don't just stand there, Eve. Thank the kind lady.
Hi, Cece.
Thanks, kind lady.
You're welcome, rotten girl.
They both lean in for a side hug. As they do, Jessie decides it's time to take a peek over my shoulder.
So, what was it that you two were looking into again?
Someone has nosy tendencies.
Hey, cut it out. Only I can give her crap for that.
But it's so obviously true.
No wonder Eve is so careful when it comes to us. It's not far-fetched to imagine a scenario where Jessie gets just a tad too curious for her own good and finds out about me, or Yellowstone, or Zion.
Sorry, she's right. It's a bad habit of mine. I just thought maybe I could help you find what you're looking for. Whatever that happens to be.
Nothing? Okay, it took a while. Eve's eyes worm their way over to my direction. I reply in turn, shooting her a dirty look. She does the same, and it's filthier. Fine. As much as I would love to stay here for all eternity, and perhaps then some help would come in handy. No guarantee she'll have any idea what I'm talking about, though. To be frank, it's difficult to talk about. Not without thinking about that vision. The intensity of its absolute reality. After all, the only reason I was able to explain any of it to the ranger was because it was her. But if she insists on letting Jessie in on some of the happenings, I suppose I can bite the metaphorical bullet just this once. Should be easy enough to dance around any information she doesn't absolutely need to know. Yeah, everybody does look kind of normal, and then you have Jessie with the pink hair. I sigh and give in. Jessie looks wounded by my lack of enthusiasm, but my hesitation has nothing to do with her. I'm just a private person. Creature. Thing. Whatever I am.
Over the course of my research, I briefly stumbled upon some pictures. They were of a cave somewhere in this park. I believe they're valuable to some of the information I'm presenting in my article. Unfortunately, neither me nor Eve have been able to identify the caves.
Do you have the pictures with you? You could try to match them with the photos you come across here.
Already poking holes in my flimsy story. Does she do this naturally? Is she just an inquisitive soul? Goodness.
Like I said, I only saw them for a brief moment. You could say they flashed by. And I have no way of referring back to them.
How?
Ever.
Eve is shooting me annoyed looks, and if we could communicate via telepathy, I'm sure she would give me an earful over how crappy my lying skills are, as if she could do better.
There are lots of caves in this park. Some of the systems go on for miles. It makes sense that you're having such a hard time narrowing it down.
Jessie leaves the proximity. First, I think she's ending the conversation without exchanging any of the usual pointless pleasantries, which more people should do, really, but then stops at a bookshelf.
But if you can't find any info on it, there's probably a pretty dang good reason.
She slides out a beige folder coated with dust. With a sharp blow of her breath, all of it goes flying, like particles of time drifting to the ground. That's kind of beautiful. Disgusting, but beautiful.
So, unless I'm finally going batty, what you're looking for is probably closer than you think.
Opening the folder, she takes out a thick piece of paper and begins the process of unfolding it. When she's done, it's bigger and taller than all three of our heads put together.
Is that a map of the park?
That's right, and an old one too.
I must witness.
I make grabby motions at it. Jessie ignores my plea and spreads it out on the table.
So excitable. But be careful, I'm not sure how many of these we have archived.
Handling old things is my specialty.
Maybe you should try specializing in patience next.
And maybe you should try not being an empty, miserable shell.
Well, maybe you should.
Ladies, really?
She brings out the worst in me.
You do that yourself.
I take back what I said. Maybe I don't want what you two have.
The map?
Right. Every so often, management will decide to stop promoting certain areas of the park. Usually because of safety or environmental concerns. This will typically involve removing trail markers and taking it off the maps we hand out.
Do you think that might be the case for the place we're looking for?
There's a good chance.
I lean out of my chair and hover over the table. The map is faded in places with torn and dog-eared corners, but it's still legible. Nearly all of the locations are places I recognize, as I should. All except for one. I point at it.
Indian Caves. What is this?
Good eye, Lilith. That's what I was about to show you.
What? How come I've never heard of it?
This park has been here longer than the 5 years you worked at it, honey.
Can confirm. I'm proof of it.
This place used to be marked like any other area of the park. It was popular too, being so close to Lake Mirror and all. The caves were easy to explore and walk through, so it was great for kids.
But...
I hate giving your cynical side more ammo, but it's probably what you're thinking. People kept leaving their trash and camping gear there.
Yikes.
it was too much of a hassle for anyone to bother cleaning it up, right?
Right.
Jessie's tone is bleak. It's as if she regretted bringing this part up the moment it left her mouth. She must be more invested in changing Eve's perspective than I could have guessed. Not that I disagree with the goal, but no meaningful change will happen if you deny her the truth.
It breaks off from a trail and is pretty out of the way. You know how difficult resource management is here, so you can't really blame them.
Oh, I can, and I will.
Eve leans over the table and observes the map with me.
Lake Mirror isn't too far from here. What do you think?
That we should pay it a visit.
Now?
You don't have anywhere better to be.
I'm only letting you have that one because it's true.
Excuse me, you can't go now. It'll be pitch dark.
It's your day off, right?
Technically.
We're good. I don't have to listen to her.
Don't just ignore me after I helped you.
Eve folds the map. It's only after it's in her back pocket does she ask the relevant question.
Hey, Jessie, you don't mind if we borrow this, do you?
Only able to squeak out a series of helpless stutters, Jessie soothes her head. Looks like Eve inspires migraines in more beings in the world than just me.
Fine. Just make sure to bring it back. There's supposed to be more red tape involved in this, but
Eve stops her mid-panic with a hug.
Thanks. We'll never let anything bad happen under your watch again. I promise.
Jessie's face goes blank, then her lip quivers.
You can't just say stuff like that and not expect me to.
She fights back a sniffle.
Just leave, okay? Get out of here, get!
If only Jessie knew how wrong she is. She has a healthier relationship with Eve than I could probably ever hope for. After all, they're both human. I'm not.
Come on, let's go.
Eve breaks out of the hug and starts for the door.
Hold on! You can't just tell me what to do!
Why is there a dog behind me?
Just did. Now hurry up. Lake Mirror isn't that far, so it should only
They've
be a
got
10-minute
they
drive.
have the sprite for pup. The sprite, can you see it? The sprite for pup is behind me. Is this a glitch? Ignore it. Sounds like a bug. It's a bug. It's a bug. It's just behind me. He's not part of this scene. I scramble out of the chair to catch up to her. We're almost out of the door when Jessie calls out.
And Eve, please don't blame the people who visit this park for what's wrong with it.
Coming around to people, actually. It's the lazy institutions they build I have a problem with.
There's a short pause from Jessie as we exit the library. Her face fades out as the door closes.
I'll take that as a win!
Okay, yeah, that was a bug. That was just... Pup was behind me for no reason.
Validate your feelings? Because I know they're very important. But what part of life maybe being a dream makes you anxious? Green 5.
Cully, what part about it doesn't scare me? If it's true, then there's just lots of little details that pile up. Green 9.
Like what? I need to draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. Aha! Yellow 9!
Well, it's like, does that mean everyone else is dreaming too? Or are we just some other fella's dream? Oh, Or maybe it's all my dream. All those things are freaky in different ways. Draw 4.
So evil. Fine. 4 cards. Blue 3. What makes each of those scary to you?
Existentialism and Uno.
If you don't mind me asking.
Good gravy. You don't gotta be all polite and cred when I'm spilling my guts to ya. But if I were to try to articulate it, if it's the first one, then who are we and why are we dreaming? If it's the second thing, then why the heck am I having dreams inside of dreams? And why do I feel so gosh darn real? Oh, looks like I gotta draw. 1, 2, green 3.
What about the third one?
That one's the freakiest! Because if I'm the one dreaming, that means nobody else is real. And I'm all by my lonesome.
You're not alone. I promise that I'm real. I'm conscious. And I'm really consciously loving you.
I wanna believe ya. But what if the dream is just telling me to dream you saying that?
Oh, I can see how that could be scary. Still,
Not to brag, but I had this conversation with a friend when I was like 11, and it was as stupid then as it is now.
wild card.
No greens or 3s, huh?
No. What makes the first reason scary?
Well, it definitely ain't this blue 2.
This is cut dialogue from the intro to Kingdom Hearts.
But I guess it's because if we're all dreaming, then that means we can't be who we are right now. We could be anything. Like little green men in a simulation.
Ooh. Or maybe we're all just the same being living over and over and over. And this doesn't end until every piece of organic existence has been
Aren't these
experienced?
all different theories?
Are we...
I've heard that one about the dreaming over and over and over again. I've heard of these before. Zion just summed up Buddhism.
I have leaves. And a yellow too.
I have leaves.
Let me draw. What you're yakking about is pretty much what I said about all of us being some other fella's dream.
Well, isn't that close to what Yosemite believes?
You mean that complicated universal consciousness jibber-jabber that I always zone out during?
Uh-huh. Yosemite's theory is that we exist because humans are aware national parks exist, and that their awareness becomes matter. Culture and misconceptions and all.
I love that this was a lot of people's just high conversation. Thanks, some dude.
Guess that explains my noggin.
What is it?
Red 2! And also, if humans made us, then who made humans?
You see the discard pile? Maybe it's like that.
Like what?
Cards.
Cards?
All the way down.
All the way down?
Cards all the way down.
What the fuck? My dad once told me the most edgelord statement when I was 16, and I've repeated it for 20 years on there. You can't tell me what reality is without destroying it. I thought it was the most perfect. That's amazing. Oh my god.
The cards stop at the table, Zion.
What the fuck? Aw. I do like how they're
We're
breaking
just about
things
there.
up.
Make sure you keep up.
How about you slow
Hi,
down?
Cloudy. Eve snorts out deep, heavy breaths as she drags her feet behind me. Perhaps I'm going at a faster pace than usual, but it's her fault for not being able to keep up with me. Okay, so we're Yosemite perspective again. Meanwhile, I'm doing the important work of guiding us to the proper direction. This map isn't too difficult to follow, but finding this trailer was a task, to put it lightly. We had to park at a hotel, stumble around until we found a bike path, and then we finally found the proper path, only after missing it 3 times. By the time we had been through the whole ordeal, the night in all its blackness had crept up on us. Now the moon hangs high in the center of the sky, glowing and full, so bright it blots out the stars. A cold wind blows, rattling the leaves. If it were visible to the naked eye, I would suspect that it would look like a musical staff, the clefs and notes swirling through the branches. Love how it's Eve and Yosemite's being a couple that cuts to Yellowstone has an existential crisis one time just wants to play Uno. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful chapter. There's darkness in the air tonight. Ominous thickness I can't place. As we get closer to the caves, the feeling only gets heavier. The butterflies and excitement I felt in my stomach when we left the library have slithered straight to my head, morphing into the throbbing anxiety. There are only two options before me now. I will find truth, or I will find none. The possible implications of both scare me. I slow my pace until I stop. Eve catches up, only to continue past me. When she realizes I'm not moving, she pauses and glances back.
Something up? You had all the piss and vinegar in the world in you a few minutes ago.
I purse my lips, but talk anyway. Fear has never kept me quiet before.
Should we turn back?
She continues on, but I don't follow. Her shoulders heave down in a sigh. She turns around.
No, because you'd regret it.
How are you so sure?
Because I'd never let you hear the end of it.
I'd make you regret it. That goes kind of hard. Even if the moon wasn't bright, I'll be able to see her expression clearly. Just one of the many small differences that makes me inhuman. But when I see her serious deadpan face spotlighted by the moonlight, I know that, maybe even more so than the information I'll receive tonight, is truth. Eve lies to herself, but I know she doesn't lie to me. So now I follow her. Deeper into the dark woods we go, away from the Yosemite that I am and know. Night has never seemed so still before. Not a single animal is rustling about in the bushes. No night birds in trees. Just the silent dark daring us to go further. I look at the map and let my dread do the guessing as to how far away we are. How many steps will it take until the unknown becomes known? 10? 100? Will we wander these woods forever? Maybe Eve won't, but I think I will. This is my fate after all, to haunt this place. I always thought that I exist to speak for this park, but perhaps I'm only here to be its ghost, wailing and moaning until enough people have returned to the dirt that their descendants forget this place. If that's my purpose, then I'm destined to cycle through it, over and over, like a cog. Except I won't stop spinning until the whole machine breaks down.
Think this is the place?
Eve stops. We've reached our destination whether I like it or not.
Why ask questions you already know the answer to?
Because I know you'll give me one, regardless of whether I want it.
Eve shines the flashlight on the cave, and it isn't much of a cave at all. Nothing as romantic as being carved into the side of a mountain or hill, as if you're entering the jaws of fate. Instead, it's merely boulders stacked up on top of boulders. How they got there is a mystery unknown to time or myself, but they've been there as long enough to have grown moss, to have merged with the ancestral ground. Openings, big enough for a person to slide into, reveal themselves between the rock's jagged shapes. Thin trees guard the various entrances, their wilted and solemn forms extending far into the night sky.
You ready?
No. Let's get on with it.
No. March onwards past Eve. She draws in a deep breath, whether it's supposed steadying or just her usual exasperation getting the worst of her, I can't tell. Twigs snap beneath her boots as... Why couldn't they leave this to the daytime? Wouldn't it be smarter to wait till daytime? The entrance is half blocked off by a rock the size of the bear you would expect to sleep in this cave. Big enough to slip through with some persistence, but not comfortable. I signal Eve in its direction. She points the flashlight down into the cave. It illuminates the small space with warm light, only getting more narrow the further along it goes. Peering in, it seems like a dim, cozy chapel. No, Vivi, drama!
It's stuck. There's no way that'll fit both of us.
I glance into the cave. The light wobbles and secret corners get darker as the flashlight shakes in Eve's hand. A deep frown strains her cheeks. And I secretly hope it's pity. It would be nice to be pitied.
Well, here goes everything.
Couldn't she teleport in there? I take the first step through the mouth of the cave, listening to the sweet lullaby of the crickets. The warmth of Eve's breath brushes against the nape of my neck.
Please don't leave.
Ooh, switch. Not that I could, with how stunned I am, but she doesn't even give me time to answer before she wiggles and drops down into the cave. Idiot. You can go anywhere in the park in a blink of an eye. Wouldn't matter if I did. But even then, I've already spent 5 years at this job. 5 years with you. Can't just get up and leave. Not yet. Yosemite dusts herself off as she inspects the inside of the cave. She places her hand against the rock and traces it over the walls as if absorbing some unsaid knowledge it possesses. A freezing spike drills through my heart. My vision goes dead black, flickering like a bad signal. I said dead signal. I'm like, nope. No, it hasn't been over 5 years. She's been working in Yosemite Park for 5 years. She considers Yosemite the park and Yosemite the girl kind of the same. I clutch my chest, squeezing it until the pain fades. When it's gone, my vision returns. Yosemite gasps. She yanks away her hand.
It's just like earlier. Yosemite! What did you see?
I could really go for the comfort of a smartass answer right now, but I don't get that luxury. Instead, she turns to me, her stern eyes swimming with fear, breath heavy.
I'm going deeper.
You're what?
She walks further in.
Yosemite?
Slipping past a wall, she disappears into the darkness beyond the warm comfort of the flashlight.
Yosemite!
No answer.
You're such a pain.
Just how out of my depth am I? I don't understand any of this. Every part of me wants to go in after her, and yet... I don't know. It feels like there's something inside of me. Something that's not me. It's not talking, it's not speaking, it's not echoing through my head, but it wants me staying put. It doesn't want me messing with things that aren't intended for me, to leave the secrets to the seekers. Like Yosemite, I guess. Maybe what's communicating all this to me is Yosemite. Feels like her scolding, the talking down to. God help me if she can spread the will of her ego without even saying a word.
Fine! I'll wait! You hear that? I'll wait!
My voice bounces through the cave. Again, no answer, but this time, I feel like one wasn't intended. I wonder if I'm in some asylum somewhere hallucinating all of this. Yosemite, Yellowstone, Zion, maybe cracking that guy in the skull is what finally broke my mind. Or better yet, this is just a dream. All of it. Heh. Be a pretty wonderful dream, then. They're all thinking they're dreaming. Crouched on this rock, like some kind of woodland goblin, I gaze up at the guardian trees circling the cave. I click the flashlight off. Just me, the night, and the wind. Eventually, my eyes adjust and I can see the tops of the trees. A bird is perched on a branch, sleeping. A silhouetted cloud drifting through the sky. My heart is beating, my chest is breathing, my head is spinning, and I'm aware of it all. It makes me uneasy. But sometimes it feels nice to be uneasy. A scream bellows out from the caverns of the cave, first dull and tinny, then sharp and resonant as the sound escapes the entrance and stabs my ears. Only a few precious syllables spill out of my mouth before I'm silenced. The sharp pain is back. Gunshots into my chest. Somebody's scream hasn't stopped. It keeps going, breathlessly, into eternity. Black, static vision. I'm outside the cabin. I can see Yellowstone and Zion sitting at the table through the window.
Guys!
My vision is stolen from me again. The pain shoots back up with vengeance. Static. Endless static. Sight. Now I'm in the middle of a clearing. I recognize this place. It's where the fire happened. Those campers, the cigarettes, Yosemite.
Why is this?
Darkness, static, and pain, screaming right into my eardrum. I stand in the middle of the replica village, right outside the sweat lodge. The museum looms over it. Its peering windows and wide doors form together to look like a violent face. Location cycles, Yosemite screams. All of this happens again and again and again and again and again. All I want for it is to end. It doesn't. I clap my hands over my ears and shut my eyes tight. Everything is out of control. Everything is out of control. This is all I can do. And I'll do it forever if I have to. Forever. Oh God. Please end. This pain can't be forever. Please don't trap me like this forever. My feet stumble. I catch myself with my left foot. My right knee crashes onto a rock. I'm kneeling? I wait for another cycle to happen, but it doesn't. Is it over? I lower my hands from my ears. When I open my eyes, I realize I'm back to the entrance of the cave, sitting on the rock like I've been there the entire time. The screaming has stopped. Now all I feel is the tangible pain in my knee, not the one in my heart.
Hell.
My chest heaves in and out. I could sit here forever and catch my breath. Probably cry, too, but my throat is too dry. Oh, shoot. What about...
Yosemite?
I'm ready to dive into the cave when a hand clutches the sleeve of my pants.
Eve?
Oh. Her voice is raw, shaking between deep sobs. She's laying down next to me, her free arms slung over her face. Her sleeve is soaked with tears.
What happened?
I lean in and grab her shoulder. All it takes is one attempt to drag her up to know she's not moving anytime soon. Her mouth moves, but the words don't even come out as a whisper. They may not even be words.
What? I forgot. You forgot? That's not gonna cut it. I need some answers.
No! I forgot. Just like Zion. Who I was. What I knew. Everything.
Just like Zion?
That would mean you used to be different.
Someone else. Now I'm not.
She chokes between heavy sobs.
And it's just going to keep happening.
I try to stutter out a response, but nothing comes.
It's just going to keep happening.
The wind picks up, tossing my hair and any leaves that have fallen off the trees. It's a silent night, so in its place, Yosemite wails. Lexi! Hi, Lexi. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Let me get you a shout out. How was your stream? You picked a good time. We just got through one of the tense moments. Welcome. Ba, 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 ba. Boop. How is Stardew? Wah, ba, ba, ba. There we go. I hope you're doing well. Welcome. Guys, Lexi's a buddy. Lexi is your friend. She's the one who was telling me, because I asked about the content warning, what we should put in. Yeah, trauma time. I hope you had a wonderful stream. Actually, I'm going to turn off my heater real quick. 1 second. 1 second. But I hope you guys had a really nice stream. I am Vivi of Vividly Vivi. There we go. Okay. It's getting a little bit too hot in the bunker. 1 second. It's winter, so I have a heater on. But yeah, I hope you had a wonderful time. Thank you. But yeah, we're gonna keep on continuing because we could use the Yellowstone Uno moment. It was a good comfy stream. Aww. I'm happy that they got good rest. That is nice when people fall asleep, like when they're comfy enough that they can just rest in the arms of your stream. It's kind of nice. But yeah, thank you, Lexi. If you need to go rest, feel free. We're gonna keep going.
Reverse! 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 Reverse!
How many reverses are in a deck?
Reverse! Seriously, Petus, why does this always end up happening? No offense, Yellowstone, but you were the one who combined 4 decks.
That would be why.
For quadruple the fun! This is still fun to you? All it's doing now is making me stressed.
How do you think I feel? All that turtle jibber jabber you were going on about is still zipping over my head.
Turtle!
I'm out for lunch. By the way, you only have 1 card left, and since I pointed it out, you gotta draw 2 more. Sorry, cutie. Them's the rules.
Jeez. You really know how to push my buttons.
It does
when
not.
we play games.
It does not have
Know
Grand
that?
Heaton. No.
The turtles, Zion! The turtles!
I'm going to try and explain this one more time.
Let's rattle.
So it's like how I explained it with the cards in the discard pile. Cards all the way down.
Okie dokie.
Now, with that in mind, let's assume the entire world is on the back of a turtle.
Far out. Does he have a name?
No. The turtle is just an example. It could be any animal.
Why doesn't he have a name?
Ooh, could it be a buffalo then? They're so fluffy and huggable. I like just when you squeeze him.
Wait, what was it? 1 second. Something happened recently. I remember Donut Bro posted it in the Vivi chat. Give me a sec. Let me scroll up. Let me scroll through all of the stuff. Was it a bison? Was it a buffalo? Yeah, a white buffalo has been born in... Did you say was where? Where? I'm now manifesting real world. Yellowstone. Yeah. A white bison was born in Yellowstone right after I started playing National Park Girls. You're welcome, Earth. Whenever I play a game, something happens. Like the game gets re-announced or like some new content comes out. But for National Park Girls, apparently we're gonna actually manifest real world shit. Last time a white bison was born, a Category 5 tornado almost wiped out a town. Oh shit. Wow. Precedes the idea that the world be ending soon. Wow. Okay. Not an albino. It's very important. I see. Okay, so not albino, just naturally born like a white one, but not albino. So no red eyes. Okay. Interesting. When was the last one? When did the Category 5 tornado one happen? When did the Category 5 tornado one happen? Also, is Category 5 the, like, most, like, is the most dangerous? Late 90s? I don't know anything about tornadoes. What? That's the big one? So, Category 5 is, like, the most. Nobu, thank you for following. Welcome to the bunker. But okay. She's so done.
Okay. It's a buffalo.
Yes.
The buffalo can't stand on its own in space. So naturally, there would have to be something beneath it. In this case, another buffalo.
But wouldn't that mean that other buffalo would have to start standing on something too?
Can you guess what it is?
Turtle?
Another buffalo? Red 3.
That's right! And it just keeps going and going.
There can't be that many buffalo. They almost went extinct.
It's just a special way to think about things, Yellowstone. You asked what made humans if humans made us. And I guess that's my answer. It could be something else, on top of something else. Or it could be a dream. Or maybe it's nothing at all.
I just punched my mic stand by accident reaching my phone. Sorry.
I don't really know.
Then what does that mean for us? It doesn't make any sense. And it scares me, you know? Oh, I have an Uno!
Blue 3!
Blue 7! I win. It just doesn't make a lick of sense to me. What's the point of living if you don't know nothing while you're doing it? It just seems hopeless.
Does there need to be a point?
Huh? Of course there does.
Thank you, anime girls.
That cruises through here has one. We got hobbies or nice families. Even Evo has her job. You think it'd be easier for us being parks and all. All we gotta do is help folks get back to nature and look pretty while doing it. We should be jam-packed with purpose. I just sure don't feel like it. Ain't there a reason we're here?
There might be. But why should it be up to us to figure it out?
Well, Yosemite's always trying to do it.
I wonder what the most existential visual novel is. Like, out of all of them. Like, if you actually, like, had the time to read all of the hundreds, if not thousands of visual novels that have been made, what is actually the most existential? And I don't mean, like, a couple of scenes. I mean, like, all the way through. Like, You, Her, and Her, me. Probably one of those PC-98 other games. I kind of want to ask Cube. I need to ask more. I need to ask more people. People who have played lots of them.
Yosemite is Yosemite. Let her do what she needs to do to make herself happy. Does dwelling on this make you happy?
And just to remind you
Yosemite
guys.
is Yosemite.
Oh, I scrolled up.
Let her do what she needs to do to make herself happy.
Remember, the artist for this is Satchley, who also did the art for Doki Doki Literature Club.
Does dwelling on this make you happy?
No. Feels pretty crummy, actually. That don't mean I can't think about it, though.
I know.
She
Not
leaned
that
in.
easy. But what about the things that do make you happy? Can you think about the...
Oh, sure. I can do that till the cows go moo.
Can you tell me some of them?
Being here with my precious Earth Angel is one of them. I can tell you that.
Being with you makes me happy too.
I can't remember how that song goes. Earth Angel something. I can't even remember the tune, but I know there's a song for that.
And I think just being here now is a lot more important than worrying about all that other stuff. Because here isn't forever. Not even for us.
Yeah, we do need to watch Back to the Future. I need to figure out a weekend where I'm free so I can organize that watch-along so we can finally play the fucking Power Wash DLC. Hi, Big Margarita.
My God. I don't know if I can change what scares me lickety-split or anything sudden like that. It's all so whack.
It is whack.
But if vibing here with me is good enough for you, then by golly, I'm gonna try and make it good enough for me.
Aw.
It might take a long time.
Well, as long as the thing on top of my head don't explode, I think I'll be okay. It's a good excuse to dilly-dally at least.
And if you want, we can have more talks like this. We can play more Uno too.
More Uno.
That'd be swell. Could we play another round now?
Sure. Let's take out some of the reverse cards though.
Oh, such a stick in the mud.
Just play Speed Uno. It goes so quickly.
Phew.
How far? We're up to chapter 4. So we only have what's left of this and then chapter 5. Eve shouting guys really loudly, but we can't hear her.
Say, did you hear something?
No. I felt something though.
Probably just the sting of defeat.
That's very rude.
Oh, it was
Don't
during
eat those
the cycle
words
thing of everything happening.
slowly to prevent indigestion.
That's why they can't hear her.
You're on. Oh, but before that, I have another question.
By all means.
So, what's the deal with eternity?
What's the deal with eternity? Dear Teddy, not much has changed on my front since I hastily jotted down last night's events. I just wanted to get it all on paper in case I needed to remember anything. It was a moot point, though I still remember everything vividly. Haha. Thank you for the follow. Yosemite cried for a long time. I didn't think she would ever stop crying. All I could was sit there and watch like some kind of idiot. Maybe I'm even more callous than I thought I was. Or maybe I don't know how to handle other people having emotions. She's comforted me before, with a hug even. Why wasn't I able to do the same for her? I wonder. When she finally calmed down a little, she explained to me some of the things she saw. It was exactly like she said. She's just like Zion, right down to living an entire existence she had completely forgotten about. The deeper she went into the cave, the more the past would enter her. Is that why I got stuck in that cycle? It felt like whenever they teleport me somewhere, except worse. I must be getting too close. Could be why their visions are sticking to me. Maybe Yosemite just got too close to the truth. Regardless, we're both out of our league. She knew people, tribes of them. She could speak their language. They knew her. One of them was a girl. Yosemite smiled when she said that she reminded her of me. I haven't seen her smile since. This girl had a name for her. Alane. She told me how they would often go to the same cave we went to last night to hide and visit and argue with each other. Guess she was an argumentative brat before she ever even met Zion. Before a lot of things. What am I doing here, Teddy? I'm so out of my depth, I may as well be drowning in the ocean. It's not like the girls know that much more than I do. They exist, but they're just along for the ride. I'm scared because I don't know what's going to happen next. Yosemite hasn't left the couch since we got home last night. As I'm writing this, she's still there, a blanket pulled over her head, research untouched. This is the first morning where the table seat opposite me has been empty, where I've been unopposed. About as good of a human as I am a ranger. P.S. I dusted off my phone to look up what Awane means. It's Miwok for big mouth. If that was her name, I can't think of anything more fitting. Awahane? Awahane. I flipped Teddy shut and tapped my fingers on his cover. Yosemite's completely submerged by her blanket. If it weren't for her feet dangling over the armrest, I wouldn't even be able to tell she was there. Wish I could say something. Know that I can't. By the way, unrelated, just because I did do the what's the deal with blah blah blah. I still really want that Seinfeld like point and click pixel game. I don't know if they'll ever actually follow through with that, but it looked so good. It looked so funny. I don't want to face these things either.
Miss Eve?
Zion's squeak drags me out of the depths of my thoughts. We haven't told her or Yellowstone about what went down last night, so for them, it's business as usual. I don't know if it's moral to hide it from them, but I think they're better off not knowing.
What is it?
My voice is a dry gravel on account of the sleep I didn't get last night.
Do you happen to know where Pup is? I can't find him anywhere. I'll miss his breakfast.
Okay, I am going to just be completely and bluntly open with you because I did put the content warning and I'm assuming a lot of you can kind of figure out, because one of the content warnings is animal death. Okay? I am not one of those people that's like, I don't want to tell you so you can be surprised by it and have emotions, because I do kind of, I am a bit of a baby about one thing in media, and that is when the animal dies. Okay? I use the website Does the Dog Die a lot, okay? Because I like to know. I can still watch media if the animal dies, but I need to know in advance. Okay? Yeah, it was pretty obvious with the content warning, but I am straight up like, this is me pausing the movie, looking at you, putting my hand on your shoulder and being like, I mentioned that an animal's gonna die. Yes. That is going to happen, okay? And yes, Pup, who is the only animal that we know in this series, is going to die. All right? You have been warned. If you are really not in the headspace for that at all, again, I totally understand if you need to leave. I totally understand if you're like, nah, this stream's not for me. We'll play something fun and lighthearted where we kill dragons in Skyrim another time. But yeah, couldn't be worse. I've never seen Old Yeller, actually. But yes, yeah. So let me continue. You have been warned. That is what is going to happen. That is where the story goes from here. I know technically I could have left it unspoiled and shocked you all with it, but honestly, I don't really want to have to sit with that. I don't want to have to be the one who puts you through that, and I don't want to have to be the one who goes, there. So I'm telling you now, so you can gather yourself up now. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for understanding. Hate to say it, but he had completely slipped my mind. It's a pressing matter, but yesterday was filled with those.
Now that you mention it, I haven't seen him since I got off work yesterday. I'll go out and look for him in a bit. He doesn't wander too far.
Thank you. I'm just worried is all.
When are you not?
When everything is perfect.
Ain't nothing ever perfect. Dollface here knows that better than anybody.
Yellowstone comes bobbing over the stove, carrying a platter of pancakes in her hand.
Is there a criticism of me you'd like to share, Yellowstone?
Darn tootin', you're nothing but stick and bones. Now have a stack of flapjacks. They go all the way down.
Yellowstone winks at Zion. Zion responds with an uncomfortable smile, like an embarrassed kid whose parents has complimented them in front of their friends. What a couple of weirdos.
Thanks, but I'm not hungry.
Huh? You've got to be yanking my chain. You've never turned down my flapjacks before.
Feel like crap. Sorry.
Well, somebody's got to eat these flapjacks. Yosemite turned her nose up to them, too.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. She didn't even look at us when we asked.
The moping blanket pile on the couch ruffles around.
Let me give it a shot.
I climb to my feet and swipe the platter from Yellowstone. Her and Zion shoot each other concerned glances.
Hey, Tree.
I go to the front of the sofa and crouch where I think Yosemite's face might be hidden.
You want food?
She tugs the blanket further over her head and rolls onto her other side.
Don't you know it's rude to be a pain in the ass when someone's trying to keep you from starving?
At first, I'm certain I'm not going to get an answer. Then I get something.
I don't need food. It's fine.
Aww, she just slowly rose up. Well, I'll take that over silence at least.
Eve, it's me. Open up.
The familiar sound of Jessie calling out from my porch breaks through the cabin. Not nearly as cheerful as usual, though. What's she doing here? She always radios me before dropping by. I sigh and set the platter down on the coffee table.
Just let me know when you're ready to sort through all this.
Alright, remember guys, I did warn you, animal death, I'm pretty sure it is happening pretty soon. So, yeah, this is kind of like last chance, okay? Last chance to duck out if you are not feeling emotionally strong. I whisper to Yosemite, then rise to a slightly higher whisper for the rest of them.
You guys should split for a while. Looks like duty is calling.
Aye, aye! Come on, girls. Let's make like a bee and buzz off.
Yellowstone grabs Zion's hand. The two of them rush over to the couch and force Yosemite's hand out of the blanket long enough to hold it. They disappear from the room before I can blink.
Adams, I know you're in there. You open this goddamn door right now.
Uh-oh. What's her damage? She was as bubbly as usual last night.
Coming!
I sprint over and grab the doorknob. The door bursts open. Jessie comes charging through it. She clutches my shoulders and pins me against the kitchen counter. Her fingernails dig through my shirt.
What the hell, Jessie?
Shut up. I should be the one asking you that, okay?
Her grip gets looser and her voice shakes. She turns her head up and looks at me. Her eyes are wet, cheeks are puffy. My heart drops like an anchor.
What happened?
That coyote puppy of yours? The one I told you not to feed. You remember that, Eve?
The words don't come out at first, and when they do, they're mostly broken.
Jessie, what happened? What happened to Pup?
Oh, God. You named it, too? For Christ's sake, Eve.
She chuckles a fake laugh to herself and takes a breath.
Listen to me. It wandered into camp yesterday. There was a girl. 6 years old, Eve. 6 years old. She got a little too close.
No!
I'm almost blubbering at this point. We both are. Please don't let it get worse.
3 fingers.
No.
Listen to me. 3 fingers. It was too late by the time they got to Fresno. They had to amputate.
The cabin door swings in the wind. There aren't any campers in the forest across the clearings. As far as I know, the trees could go on forever. Dear Teddy, what have I done? So, I'm gonna play the very beginning of chapter 5 because I kind of just want to have that happen, I suppose. So who do oh, donut bro. Who got yeah, so remember that coyote pup? That coyote pup that everyone was like, yeah, you really shouldn't feed that. That's not good. You shouldn't feed a wild animal and get it too close to humans and get it used to being around humans. Yeah, well, it bit a 6-year-old girl and bit off 3 of her fingers. So, yeah. Part of me is like, do I? Okay, yeah. I kill the ignition. The engine hums until it dies. The metal on the truck pops and squeaks and crackles until that goes silent too. Is this episode 5 already? Then all I hear are the muffled tweets of birds from outside. For a while, I stay inside the truck until it gets warm, until I start to roast. We are finally in springtime. I feel like I can at least get to that bit. Drove the truck through Tioga Pass. Tioga? Or Tioga? For a bit. Eventually swerved left and went off-roading. Yeah, there's no fireside segment. It was too sad. We're technically not supposed to. I technically don't give a shit. Despite knowing this park like the back of my hand, I wouldn't be able to point out where I'm at if given a map. Don't much care about that either. Probably nowhere too high up. If I'd come across a cliff, I would have driven off it. I slam my head on the steering wheel, holding it there as long as never-ending beep echoes through the woods. A flock of birds scatter from their tree branches and escape into the sky. I lift my head and bust it against the wheel again. Again. Beep. My head throbs, a dull pain sneaks through it and stops at the back of my wisdom teeth. Vision is blurry, getting darker. Oh, Senya. It's okay. It's okay, Oofy. Thank you for the follow. I swing the door open and stumble out. The fresh air isn't so fresh. There's a fire nearby. The smell of burning bush makes my self-induced headache even worse. Fires like this aren't uncommon up here nowadays. I wonder how she's holding up right now. The others are probably pampering her like the queen she thinks she is. Hi, Paradoxica. No. No, stop it. You forfeited that life. How dare you think you have the right to wake up every day and feel the comfort they gave you? Outdoors, nature, whatever pretentious way I choose to identify being outside and not closed in with my thoughts in some building. It's just a mask. A facade of identity to convince myself that it's possible to have moments in my day-to-day life where I'm not so miserable. But when that reality comes crumbling down on top of you and all that's left are Polaroid photos of a toddler with a mutilated hand, the entire charade goes with it. I wouldn't call a 6-year-old a toddler, but I get it. All that's left is the burning image of 3 fingers dangling from a tiny fist and the guilt that comes with it. There was never a way out of this. No second lease. I hate that I just went actually. I went actually. Actually. And pushed my glasses up. Really? Oh, God. It's like when people say carcass when they're trying to be artistic with their words. It's like, actually, a carcass is a dead animal. You say corpse for people. And then they turn and look at me and go, Vivi. Vivi. That doesn't matter. No second lease or new perspective was ever truly plausible. All that was ever there was the rebelling ego of a desperate woman shaking her fist at the boot of what exactly? Bureaucracy? Society? Culture? But that's just it, isn't it? It was actually nothing all along. Just an indefinable sense of wrongness, lack of place or purpose, disenchantment to be sure. But everyone is disenchanted. So when I turn my blame and hate towards anything and everything, I shouldn't be surprised when there's a casualty. Yet here I am, shocked when my poison ends up killing. I come around to the bed of the truck and unlatch it. Okay, yeah, here it is. Pup springs toward me. The rope tied to his neck tugs him back. He's hopping from side to side. He's panting hard. He's breathing. I watch, unblinking, keeping my eyes open and glued to him until they burn and he mellows out.
Yeah. I guess I'm just about ready to.
I say like he knows what's going on, like a mutual understanding will redeem me for what I'm about to do. The shotgun slides out of the back easily. It's heavy, but the weight doesn't even register. Feels like an extra limb I've always had. Again, I told you guys. Content. I put the content warning there on purpose. Okay. Again, please, if you don't want to see a dog get shot, please leave the stream now. Okay. Just there you go. All right. When I was driving, I kept hoping that I'd hear it get set off, that I'd get lucky and that an unseen pothole would do it for me. Didn't even keep the safety on. This is slightly, what would you call it? I'm calling it animal death because it's animal death. And if it didn't go off, well, that was fine too. He would get to see it, maybe understand it, accept it. But as I look into his blank expression, whites of his eyes showing as he turns his head to look at a stray bird, I learn an obvious insight. It's a coyote. It doesn't understand a fucking thing. When the end of the rope is untied, he bounces out and runs in circles on soil. I don't stop it. He howls and barks, and I don't try to stop that either. Eventually, he starts sniffing at a tree, and I figure that's as good of a place as any. Pup's either a good boy or a dumb boy, because he doesn't resist when I grab the rope and start tying it to the tree's mighty trunk. It's over 100 feet, towering to the sky. It and its cousins shade the whole clearing. It's probably over 300 years old. I wonder how many things it's outlived. How much life has completely disintegrated into dust from the time this thing was a sapling until now? How much more will it outlive? When the knot's been tied, I pick the gun off the ground and take 10 steps back. Pup tries to follow. I think they were going for the old yellow thing. I do understand that, like, they would do the euthanization instead. I don't think that this is actually what happens. I wouldn't know, though. I wouldn't know. I'm not American. And I've also never worked in any kind of outdoor thing where you have to take care of things like this. But I think they're going for, like, the old yellow, like, no, I'll do it, pa, that kind of thing. It's very much the drama thing. And again, if you are just stopping into the stream now, there is about to be animal death. We are ending on a very dark note, okay? So please, if you don't want to see a dog get shot, please leave the stream now. Pup tries to follow, but like the truck, he gets yanked back. Only this time he takes issue with it. I really hope I don't, Gray. I really hope I don't. God, why now?
Shut up! Shut up!
It takes until the second time until I hate myself for saying it. Man, just look at me. Can't even show a dying animal some basic pity. Some ranger.
I'm not going anywhere.
And look at the pity I have for myself. I'll be lugging around this job complex until the bitter end, I guess. After all, the ritualistic killing about to occur is all about me, as is everything. It's about Eve Adams. It's always been about Eve Adams. Pup's head clicks to the side as I raise the gun. I remember Jesse showing it to me the first time I entered the cabin. Not even half a day later, I was pointing that thing at Yosemite, Zion, and Yellowstone. Safety is off. All I have to do is pull the trigger. All I have to do is steel myself, commit to the action, commit, and everything changes. My environment changes. I could change. My finger curls around the trigger, the only real mechanism that matters when it comes down to revolution or murder. Pup stares up at me with his blank, trusting eyes. Every organ in my body feels like it's... So, Takohama, it does happen. I have been warning people this entire stream that it does happen, so if this is going to distress you, please don't spam the chat. Please remove yourself from the stream now if it is going to make you distressed. That is the one thing that I have asked this entire stream. I would rather that we just be able to read this media, okay? Alright? You don't need to worry about your dog. This is media. This is this is not a reality thing. Please do not conflate the two, okay? Okay? I would advise leaving the stream if it's going to upset you. I will play something funnier another time. Okay. If your dog is going to get scared hearing a gunshot, please turn off the stream. There is going to be a gunshot, okay? Thank you for stopping by, Takahama, but this is not the stream for you. Okay. Every organ in my body feels like it's shutting down, going cold. Stomach's doing somersaults, heart in a radial spin, hand shaking. I'm sorry, Jesse. Zion, Yellowstone, I am so sorry. Even you, Yosemite. Especially you. The only person who ever really got it. I wish I could have let you know how much those dumb morning arguments meant to me. If I had realized it sooner when I wasn't looking down the barrel of a shotgun, I would have told you. I learned so much from all of you, but I just couldn't apply it right. You should have put your faith in someone better, someone kinder, who wasn't bitter just because their expectations failed them. I wasn't able to be the ranger I wanted to be, and I wasn't able to be the person you thought I could be. The world is a blur, watercolors painted in tears. I'm sorry. Pup lifts his head towards the sky. An unbroken, sorrowful howl escapes into the air, his jowls drooping the longer it goes on.
I'm so sorry.
I pull it. Takahama, I really don't want to talk about that. Thank you, baskets. All right. So, we will pick up on the rest of this next time. Where's other redeem when you need it? Thank you. Thank you. Yes, exactly that energy. Exactly that energy. On that cheerful note, sorry, maybe I'm fresh out. That's okay. That's all right. Hi, Thor. Hello. So yeah, this is probably the nastiest cliffhanger I'm going to leave this on. But, okay, I've got to be honest with you. I didn't want to start next stream with a dog getting shot. Donut bro, why are you okay with the Hank Hill redeem when the guy dies in the game that I love, but you won't do it for the dog dying? I'm learning so much about you guys.
Salami.
Salami, thank you, baskets. Thank you. Roy was innocent. Roy was lovely. Roy reminded me of my uncle. How dare you? Okay. All right. I do want to, so we're going to, let me, Onyx Wing. Aw. Thank you for 17 months. Let's quit for the minute. We'll return to the title. Okay. Okay. So, we've never had a stream like this before. I just got back. How's my favorite character, the dog, doing? Oh, great. Thank you. I want to say now that this actually went a lot better than I thought it. So I was terrified of this stream, actually. I have actually been really scared about streaming visual novels just because I know that they can get really emotional, and sometimes I wonder whether I have the capacity as a streamer to stream these kinds of things and still have like a good time, but also I like the levity, but I also like being able to be in the seriousness of the moment. And I feel like you all handled that, most of you handled that pretty well. All of you. I would say 99.9999999%. Because, again, I tried to warn you as much as possible going in. I tried to go into this as... The girls are going to go completely mental over this, aren't they? I will spoil this. Eve does not handle it well. That is pretty much the plot of Chapter 5. Eve does not handle it well. The others, it's very complicated. It is incredibly complicated what happens in, like, Chapter 5. And we will get there. We will get there. But I wanted to see what it would be like to see this through and stream something that I know was emotional, that had, yes, there is the suicide tag. That is something that will come up. And I will not say unalive. I will not, no. Thank you. I appreciate that, Meowmas. Thank you. I was really nervous. Because we haven't really done that before. And I would love to be able to play games that have serious adult material in it, that I know could potentially mess people up. So I would like those people who could be messed up by it to know that it's time to leave, like to step out, or, you know, that what's happening is gonna happen. Gotta be honest, it was a bit overdramatic for that. If it would dial down a bit, it would have hit more. Fair enough. Fair enough. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of you so much right now. I'm actually like sitting here like, wow, we actually could read that. We actually could read that, and I didn't want to end stream while it was happening, and I would consider that a win. I would consider that a win. Because for a second I was like, okay, if I get like really nervous, I could just end stream. I could be like, nope, it's too much, it's too much, it's too much. But no, I am happy how that went. I am immensely proud of you guys. I know we make jokes. I know we make jokes and stuff because you guys are a lot like me. We like levity in these situations. We like humor. We like breaking the tension with a joke. I think that is somewhat why we enjoy each other's company. We like We like diffusing tension with funny. We are like that. But I also appreciate that you allow some moments to land and then break the tension. I like that too. So I'm just very grateful to you guys right now. You guys are fucking fantastic. You are such a good bunch. I'm so happy. I have lucked out so fucking hard that we have all stumbled across each other in this way. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. Like, when people say that their community reflects the streamer, I'm like, wow, that is such a big fucking compliment. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's really nice for me. That's really nice for me. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you're like, I don't want to be associated with Vivi. Ugh. But I am happy. I am happy. Oh no, the dog! What the dog doing? Damn it! I should have had a what the dog doing redeem. Fuck. That would have been so funny. I'm just about what the dog doing. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. All right. We will save chapter 5, which will also be incredibly depressing, but it'll also be the last one, and I want to see what it's like. So we will see that next time. I don't know when next time would be. I have taken some days off just kind of for myself, so I don't have any collabs coming up for a little bit. I pretty much told people like, hey, nothing for the next week, please. I want like a week to just do whatever I want. So that means that this next week I can stream whenever I want. So if I feel like it tonight, I will stream Skyrim. If I feel like it. If I don't, I will probably see you tomorrow. Okay? Because I've stretched out a nice long chunk of time to just do whatever I feel like. I have had a bath. I am wearing clean clothes. I have like a stocked fridge of like nice drinks and things like juice and chalky milk and all kinds of stuff. So like, this week is about doing what I want to do. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then we have some collabs. And then after that, we have some collabs. We actually have quite a few. I'm looking forward to them. Some of them I'm very excited. Me and Milky have started talking about organizing stuff. So I'm hoping we can get something organized. Maybe for next week. We will see. I can't have milk without giving my porcelain throne unwarranted punishment. I've been thinking I want to do a stream where I do like a Google form thing and we get to know each other. I feel like one of the questions should be, are you lactose intolerant? I'd love to know how many of you just can't have lactose. How many of you like, nope, can't have lactose? Nope, not me. Anyway, I'm gonna find someone to raid. I do have someone in mind if they're still live, but let me double check. But again, thank you guys so much. This was so good. I know this was incredibly dark and it's not usually what we do, but I am so happy that it went well. I'm so happy that it went well. All right, hell yes. She's still going. Okay. Okay, so I want to raid Koki, who is playing Oshidabu, which is a Yuri visual novel. So, let's go. Ba-bam. Hell yeah, let's go! More Yuri! More. And their girls are so cute. They're super cute. They're super cute. It doesn't really feel right to call it a fun stream. I have fun with you guys no matter what. Even if the dog in the visual novel dies, I don't feel like I can say I didn't have fun. I enjoy streaming with you guys. I enjoy spending time with you guys. I watched Bible Man with Koki and Bodega in that stream. You were there. You were there. You were in chat too. Yeah, that was funny. That was a funny stream that they had. It was good. But yeah, all right. Mwah! I love you guys. Treat yourselves good. I will see you guys again real soon, I'm sure. Bye-bye! And what the dog doing?